and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition of the 2025 KungFu Cup 6 Warcraft 3 Evolution Edition. I'm of course Showside VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to another edition of said KungFu Cup. For those that are just now tuning in, for those that maybe haven't seen this event before, the KungFu Cup is an event organized by SC Boy, by the Chinese scene, the Chinese community, and typically, traditionally, this has been a weekly seasonal event that does actually correspond with WTL. World Team League used to be running on a seasonal basis, and we would have these weekly open tournaments, the KungFu Cup, to actually supplement and to provide extra WTL points. Now that WTL is on an indefinite hiatus, though, we do have something different, a new form of KungFu Cup instead, this time unchained, unbound by the chains of the WTL, and instead a bit of a chaotic format. Basically, it is a weekly tournament, but every week they alternate between StarCraft Evolution and Warcraft 3 Evolution. So last week we did feature the StarCraft Evolution edition. This is Warcraft 3 Evolution instead. If you're curious, hold up. Warcraft 3 Evolution, what's going on, Pappy? What's happening? What does that even mean? Well, there is another mod, not the StarCraft Evolution mod, but there's a separate mod called the Warcraft 3 Evolution mod, which does a similar thing, where it kind of blends together Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2. But not just Warcraft 3 and StarCraft 2, it also blends together Brood War as well. They take an extra step. Personally, I'm not too fond of the idea of adding that extra step, but they go for it as well. So there are 3 potential modes of play that you can actually indulge in: Warcraft 3, Brood War, and SC2 as well. Oh boy. So yeah, it's even more chaotic, even more wild. Likewise, it has its own balance, it has its own adjustments. I believe the Brood War version that is played in this mod, though, is not the same as the Brood War version in StarCraft Evolution. It is different. I believe it is a little bit closer to the numbers in Brood War. It is more of a direct port, whereas in StarCraft Evolution it has been adjusted for balance purposes. Here in Warcraft 3 Evolution, it's a lot more focused. The balance, I should say, is a lot more focused on the Warcraft 3 side of things, and they've kind of left Brood War more or less alone, more so than anything else. Oh boy. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be wild. It's always exciting to jump into this, and it's always exciting to see the hero units as well, of course featured with the Warcraft 3 mod. And yeah, we're about to jump into our first series here. We're jumping into the round 16, just catching up in the chat as well. I do see Aistan, I see Psycons as well. Estehon Mono, ay. Pain Damage, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos one and all. Does Hyper One know this command? Funada Hyper One, Funada. The mod gets updated regularly. The evolution mod evolves. Exactly. There you go, Bobby. There you go. But here we go. We have our first series, have our first matchup. Up first in the round 16, we have Rotterdam versus Shalse. Again, big shout to Rotterdam. He has been recently indulging and casting Warcraft 3 Evolution. The reasoning for this, as you can imagine, is that Rotterdam, he used to be a Warcraft 3 competitor. Used to be a competitor back in the day before he started casting. He was a pro player in Warcraft 3. He was old mate Little Kev. Or I think that was Hearthstone. They're both Kevs. Not confusing at all. But yes, he used to be a competitor back in the day. Of course, did transition to a caster in StarCraft 2 after playing and competing in StarCraft 2 as well, and now has been jumping into Warcraft 3 Evolution. I don't know what he's going to be looking like. I've never seen him play this mod, so we're going to find out. We're going to find out together here. Evolution complete, almost. Este Sinistro. Papi, yeah. Good to see you, Papi. Good to see you, as always. Yo, are you gonna be a part of the offline events? There is an offline event happening in Brazil soon TM that I know Cosmos has been hard at work at. It'll be cool to see if yourself and maybe Icegar as well can be a part of that. I know that Cosmos has been hard at work, very hard at work, trying to bring that offline event together. It'll be happening in a couple of months. Couple of months. Oh, exciting stuff. Depends on the workload, but I might be able to join. Oh, let's go. exciting to hear. As we're jumping to game one is going to be on Abyssal Reef. We go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner here of Abyssal Reef, we have the Orange Protoss player, the Orange Protoss himself, representing Team Basilisk from the land of the Netherlands. It is Rotterdam. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the... Oh, actually, I need to move some stuff around. The UI is a little bit messy whenever we cast this mod. There we go. That's a little bit better. In the top left-hand corner, we have the Chinese, typically a Zerg player, but here he's the human, the blue human player. It is Xiaose. Here we go, as we are going to be jumping into our first series of the night. And again, we do have SC2 versus Warcraft 3 in our initial best of 3. And we'll be getting to the format after this game. For now, though, we do see a lot of popularity when it comes to the human race. I'll be honest, out of all the races, I don't think we've ever casted an orc player. Oh, let's go. It's his first. I was hoping that Rotterdam was a little bit practiced, and I was hoping that he had a couple of games under his belt. But apparently it's his first game ever here. Xiaose, he's lying to him, by the way. Xiaose, he has a lot of experience in this mode, a lot more, I should say. Of course, there are potato memes. Let's go. Of course, Xiaose, being a caster, hey, it's a caster showdown. I just realized we have our English caster on the right and we have our Chinese caster on the left. Xiaose, of course, he does represent SC Boy. And again, the human race has been very popular. I would say we've seen it more than any other. Outside of humans, we have seen a decent amount of Night Elf. We have never seen any orcs, and we've seen undead like a couple of times as well. So unfortunately, no, I have heard that currently in the balance of Warcraft 3 Evolution mod, Orc is underpowered, or it's just not as strong as the other races. So yeah, we just haven't ever been able to see any Orc yet, but I'm sure we will eventually. But now though, we are going to be opening up. Another important thing to note, as we do have a standard opener out of Rotterdam, he does go for the Gate Cyber Expand, so standard opener out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, you can see here that there are a bunch of creeps on the map. We do have some gnolls here towards the top side. We have some merchant shops as well to get into some heroes, to get into zeppelins, to get into scans. We have some mercenary camps where you can also purchase units. You can actually buy an early hero. There is a build that we saw from Liu in this mod where you can actually rush into the early tavern here in the center and actually buy an early was it Beastmaster? Yeah, an early Beastmaster. You can open up with Rexar here, for example. So there are some builds where you can try to rush into a neutral hero, for example. But here we do have Xiaose opening up with the initial Archmage. Here we go. Archmage. So here we're just going to be camping some creeps, or we're going to be creeping. I think that's the better terminology here, to get some resources, minerals, gas, so of course level up the hero early on. The hero is a big part of the Warcraft 3 side of things. The hero is like a one-man army, essentially. We have seen heroes dominate these fights against SC2 armies. What I will say is that because of the strength of the heroes, and because of the strength of Protoss units, we have seen in this mod Protoss be the strongest SC2 race. The reasoning for this is because a lot of the Zerg units, a lot of the Terran units are very fragile, very low HP, and often get one shot. Like, mate, when we get these AoE abilities like Thunderclaps or Frost Novas or Firestorms, for example, they put Storm to shame. They completely just shut down bio armies and link based armies. But against like Blinkstalker Immortal or Colossus Robo based units instead, the Protoss army has a lot more durability, at least from what we've seen. Meanwhile, we do see Rotterdam poking in, trying to apply pressure here to the main hero units while we're creeping. A couple of items are being collected here. Already we have a full set. So they're building up. You can see a ward's going to be thrown down here for some vision. Another thing I should mention as well is that these creep camps have replaced bases. So you can see there are no bases towards the left, no bases here in the center. I mean, we do see Xiaose pushing up the ramp. Shield batteries are ready. Yeah, 2 shield batteries so far. Nice lifts here on the initial footman. Yeah, they slow down the army. And with that, looks like, yeah, Rotterdam, he'll hold. He will hold on. The shield batteries come into play. He does focus on the first footman. And oh, can he get it? Oh, barely not. Barely not. And Xiaose will back off. Now, as you saw, when it comes to the units here from Warcraft 3, I should reiterate, the bases are gone. There's no third base here. There's no third base, there's no fourth base, there's no fifth base. But the economy is very different for Warcraft 3 because of the upkeep system. You actually get penalized for having a larger army. So typically Warcraft 3 armies are smaller, so Warcraft 3 economies don't need to be as large. Like, you can get away with 2 bases for a long time in Warcraft 3, or at least in the Warcraft 3 Evolution mod, and to compensate for that, because armies are going to be smaller, units are so durable. I mean, you can see that these 2 footmen, they still survive throughout the game. They're quite tanky, quite powerful in their own right, and yeah, that goes for all Warcraft 3 units here, is that they're all much more robust, they all do more damage, they're all very healthy, very tanky. Takes a lot more to bring them down. The Protoss side of things, they'll have a larger army, they'll have a more of a swarm style composition. It's going to be the opposing team, it's going to be the Warcraft 3 army here that's going to be a little bit more lean and a little bit more finesse, I guess, to it as well. A lot of micro potential, a lot more finesse. Meanwhile, Phoenixes do poke in, they get a couple of worker kills here and there, nothing too major. So far, MacSed just building up back at home, securing himself, throwing down turrets, throwing down his arcane towers. I should emphasize, you know, again, it was a Stargate opener out of Rotterdam, so he has gained map control, is containing his opponent, and taking his own 3rd base. So Rotterdam is getting into his expansions here, still focusing on purely, I was going to say purely Skytoss, is still pumping out nothing but Phoenixes, don't get me wrong. It does manage to get a worker here and there. Peasants, if you will. But from here, we're switching into charge lots. So it's going to be Phoenixes into charge lots. We have double forge on the way, double upgrades for Rotterdam. He's building up here on these 2 bases. And because these Phoenixes, he's keeping the Archmage pinned back at home. So it does mean that there's no creeping going on right now. Ideally, you want to be out here, you want to be trying to hunt down and trying to face off against these centaurs or any other gnolls and kind of gain more items, gain more resources, level up your hero. But right now, we do see MacSed is contained. He is contained. Another peasant goes down. He gets 1. He gets 2. So 2 more peasants. Again, the arcane towers are still not done. This is still being worked upon. Oh. As the Archmage does move out, I believe. Oh god, actually can get picked up. Has to be careful. Does pull away. Meanwhile, we have our 2nd hero on the way. Yo, my favorite hero of the Warcraft Evolution mod is, of course, the Mountain King. So Mountain King was on the way. If you're familiar with the story, that is Myrddin. So Myrddin, Mountain King. Especially against the other races, is insanely powerful. It's crazy. Against Protoss, maybe less so. Has some crowd control abilities, don't get me wrong. There we go. The guard towers are now done. So far, MacSed, he does secure himself. Likewise, we do see Rotterdam getting into his 4th expansion, so getting into a 4-base economy, building up a decent chunk of charge lots. So far, looking solid. Now, this is where the Mountain King comes into play. Now, you may look at this army, you may be thinking, oh my god, Roddy, he's at 150 supply, you know, he's got a massive army. That is true. These zealots mean nothing in the face of a Mountain King, mate. Let me tell you. Yo, this bad boy right here. Yeah, we do see he does resource Thunderclap. Thunderclap is an insane AoE, and mate, he can make short work of this zealot army. So I'm a little bit concerned here for Rotterdam. The Archmage did just get into water elementals, so can summon minions, of course, and the Mountain King is ready to jump in. Roddy doesn't quite commit, not yet. Still parked outside the base. Behind us, working towards Colossus. I'm less excited about Colossus as a way to supplement this army. I think MaxPax has been playing a lot of this mod as well, and did find a lot more success with Immortals. As you mentioned before, like, the army size here is going to be quite small for the Warcraft 3 player, so that like high impact single target DPS is a little bit more ideal, like the Immortal and what that brings to the table. The Colossus less so. The Colossus is going to be tickling this army. But he is making 3 at a time. As Phoenixes, once again, they dive in. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workers. Very nice damage. Once again, MacSed being dragged back into his main. All the riflemen are out. Ooh. Takes down one of the Phoenixes. I'll be knee deep in WC. I'm running 3 games this year. Oh my god, that's... Take care, Pappy, take care. I mean, good to hear that you have a lot of work to do. So take care, Sinistro. Hope you're able to get plenty of rest, and I look forward to seeing the production, of course. But now though, do you see Rotterdam going to be reinforcing? Behind this, working towards Sky Toss. Okay. Fleet Beacon's on the way. Sky Toss would be ideal, but we'll see if he can get there. Now, what's scary is that this entire time, Xiaoce has been stuck on 2 bases, but remember, Xiaoce, he has I mean, he doesn't need a third. He doesn't need a greater economy, I should say. Like, this army from Xiaoce is building up. Building up quite hard. We do see Rotterdam does commit into the mineral line, into the natural. First tower goes down. Xiaoce, he has to respond. There's going to be 3 Colossus here for Rotterdam. Xiaoce pushing forward. You can see the Mount King trying to make its way towards those zealots. Show us the clap. Oh, so far, dust on the first wave of zealots, and we should be able to have another clap soon. Does he get it? He does. He does get off just barely towards the end. Colossus is going to be forced back. The Riflemen, they do get quite a bit of damage done, but it looks like, yeah, the zealots are overwhelming. They overwhelm the initial minion, and they're getting on top of that last hero. Oof. Colossus does fall. Again, just the one Archmage left. He's getting locked down. Getting locked down. The Archmage does fall, and GG gets called. Rotterdam, he will break the natural base, and he will break the natural and take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. He was able to break through. Thankfully, he was able to catch Xiaoce out of position. As a reminder, Xiaoce, he was over towards the left-hand side. Oh, he was over trying to creep, trying to break through on the left-hand side, and trying to creep. Creep is probably the best word of using. But he wasn't at his natural base. He was left exposed. GG. GG, well played. Rotterdam does break through, and that leads us into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. As we're going into Ultra Love. And spawning in the... Oh! For the first time! Okay. Okay, I see you. Let's go. For the first time spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the Warcraft 3 Orc player. Oh, Yako's gonna be so sad. We have the Warcraft 3 Orc player himself. I mean, I believe he did main Orc back in the day. For Basilisk, it is Rotterdam. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Terran player. We have the red Terran himself, the Chinese player. Ooh, I believe rocking Brood War Terran. It is Xiaoce. Here we go. As we are settling into game number 2. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the Brood War Terran works here. Again, it is very different to what we've experienced in StarCraft Evolution. For now, going to be setting up here with a low ground Warlock. Meanwhile, Rotterdam back across the map, going to be opening up himself with the initial Farseer. Okay. Again, I've never seen, I'm excited. I've never seen Orc here in Warcraft 3 Evolution. This is the very first time we're seeing it here. And I'm curious if we're going to find out why we rarely see it. We'll see. We shall see. For now, when we load into Ultra Love, we do have our natural base. Our natural here, there is of course a creep camp just at the natural. The third base has been replaced by a Goblin Merchant. Likewise, the linear third base has been replaced by a Goblin Laboratory as well. As always, in the center, there is a tavern. Oh, it's in the void! Let's go. But there's the tavern in the center of the map. Of course, do love to see that it's covered by the void itself. And in general, if Rotterdam were to take another expansion here, it would be a little bit more difficult to see over on the right-hand side. These will be the closest bases to him over towards the right-hand side of the map. So we are opening up. Meanwhile, Xiaoce back at home does go for the racks expand. We do have our initial marine production underway, and we'll see if we head towards like a 3 racks timing with stim, if we work towards mech instead as a mech based composition into vulture production. Xiaoce does have options. So we go, factory has been thrown down. Now, the way this format works, I should emphasize, is the Farseer has arrived at... Oh, we did end up researching Feral Spirits. Once again, a team of minions to help clear all these creeps. What I should mention here when it comes to the format of the tournament, because Rotterdam, I should say this is, I believe, called the Conquest format. Let me just double check. Is it Conquest? But yeah, it's called something like that. So basically a Conquest format, Conquerors, that's it, Conquerors format, is when you win with one of your races, you cannot use it again. So Rotterdam, he just won the first game with Protoss, right? He just won with SE2 Protoss, which means he can no longer use SE2 in this series. He's going to be forced to play Brood War or Warcraft 3 for the rest of this best of 3. Just as a heads up, as Roddy does move out. Looking at the front door, so far Chaussee is in position, has his bunker done, getting into his own tank production here. Not vultures, researching and prioritizing siege mode more than anything. Interesting. Ooh, and getting into a second factory, it is in fact going to be mech. So we have a mech here at a Chaussee. Likewise, back at home. Rotterdam does recognize he won't be able to break this position, won't be able to break this bunker line, so we'll back off. We'll back off, we'll retreat. Catching out some of the Draenei. As a reminder, these are what the original Draenei used to look before they got revamped in Burning Crusade. They have a very different look to them. Oh. Roddy does expand, taking his own natural. He's buying, selling, building up his boy, building up Cold Eye. That's a nice little kind of like flavor text here as well. Whenever you spawn in a hero, it does spawn in with a unique name or with a randomized name. It's a fun little quirk. Meanwhile, we do have siege mode complete. We're getting into spider mines. We have ion thrusters on the way as well for Chaussee, getting into more factories. Third TC as well, and moving out with said vultures. Oh. Yeah, spider mines being set out. Ideally wants to bait the army into the spider mines. Up, Roddy, no, takes the bait. Oh my god. Spider mines do go up. They do tickle the orcs, but more mines will connect. This vultures they kite back. Once again, emphasizing just how tanky this army can be, but it's all melee based. Melee-based army, outside of course the Farseer. Chaussee does pull away, doesn't have any spider mines left. As a reminder, spider mines are charge based, but additional vultures have arrived. You can set up more mines. Just setting up his mines, moving forward. We won't be able to delay the expansion. Alas, we do see Roddy able to break out. Once again, Tank does take the spider mines to the face. Oh my god! No, he's being dragged in! Yeah, dragged into the minefield. He has to get the hell out of here. His army getting very low once again. So let's have to pull back. Buying an item, buying a salve. Okay. Yeah, you can see here, trying to heal up. Likewise is contained. Behind this, we do have Chaussee just getting his third base up and running, fully operational. It's building it up. So far, just building up his third. Getting it saturated, likewise committing here to massive vulture tank. Once again, similarly how we mentioned that Protoss would be favored against, or is a little bit more favored against Warcraft 3 based armies, I would say and lean towards mech as well, also having a better standing. As without getting into 1-1 upgrades. Starpods on the way, still just rallying mass vulture, Jesus. a couple of tanks are sprinkled in, couple of tanks. But mainly just mass vulture. And Rotterdam, he's contained, he cannot move out. Not into this kind of minefield, it's just not going to happen. And there's no easy way to bait out these spider mines. Yeah, vultures are looking to overwhelm. Once again, baiting the army in. More spider mines popping off. Oh my god, the chain lightning! And chain lightning does come into play. Oh my god, the vultures, they get shut down. First tank is going to fall, trying to force some friendly fire. But Elastic runs, they all do fall. Very nice friendly fire there. But last we're down to one Farseer. Does set up another chain lightning. God, everything's just flaming. Jesus. The last shall say he is moving in. Oh, running into the towers though. Yeah, watchtowers, they hold the line. Tanks though, they're getting within range. Yeah, boys are being pulled to repair. But Rodem, he has no more army. He's down to just a single Farseer. That's all he has left, papi. Aye, aye, aye. Yo, let's go. We got a Demolisher. We got a Catapult. Or Ballista. A bit of it. Yeah, trying to focus on that tank. Tank does survive. And our last Chassé still maintains his position. Going for the towers. Like there's Mass Vulture still rallying in. Breaking through that front line. So far, I mean, the repairs are pretty insane. These buildings are so tanky, but finally the first building goes down. Oh my god. And the minefield has been set. Speaking of, more spider mines going up. You can see Rodan trying to bait out the spider mines with those, or with the minions. With the familiars. No! But the Farseer goes down, and things are looking dire here for Rotterdam as the tank line is just encroaching upon the natural. Pushing further in. Again, he's down to just 2 more Demolishers. And they do trade relatively well here, but alas, the tanks are still looking strong. There's still, what, 6 tanks here on the low ground. 2 more here towards the left-hand side. And Rodam, he's down to nothing. There's nothing left. Oh, behind this, let's go. Taking up to Wind Riders. Has been trying to build up. Trying to. But again, he has to wait for the Farseer. He has to wait for his hero to be rebuilt. And Chassé, he's moving in. I only played StarCraft at N64. Oh no. As we do see the Wind Riders, they will be able to take down some of these tanks. First 2 tanks going down. I love the sound effect. It like... Hold on. Can you hear it? You can hear the spears clang off the metal. God damn it. The clangs are real. Let's go. I mean, hey, they do kill some of the tanks. God damn it. The soldiers, they move in, set up more spider mines. Now, thankfully, it looks like these spider mines aren't being triggered on the workers, thankfully. So Rodam is still trying to maintain himself. He's building up his Wind Rider count. Once again, trying to bait out the spider mines as best he can. Jesus, but there are just so many Goliaths. Oh my god. The ramp is a little bit congested, a little bit. Oh god. And with all these Goliaths and Wind Riders, they cannot quite break through. We got a Radiate on the way, let's go. Taking up into a Radiate. One of them just being pinned back. Oh. Okay, now 2 of those Goliaths. Again, I believe that effect that you're seeing there is a poison effect that now they have, as it was just researched. It was just researched, but there we go. Goliath just started to step in. And Chassé has had enough. He does commit. Alas, Rodem just doesn't really have much left to work with. He's down to 3 Wind Riders. He has the one Farseer. He can chain lightning, of course, but even then, one hero is not going to be enough. Not against this massive amount of army. Chasse, he will overwhelm. He breaks through. The Farseer, the hero, is the only unit left. GG gets called, and Rodem, he will tap out, and Chasse takes the game. Oh, GG. GG, well played. Chasse, he will tie things up 1-1. Again, we don't often get to see the orc race here, and unfortunately we saw that there was no easy way to deal with the spider mines. Usually there are ideally some cheaper units you can use to just tank those shots, but in general you're quite limited here. The best, I think best case scenario for Rodem was maybe to use those the feral spirits, right? To use his feral spirits to try to bait out those spider mines, but even then, they were quite fragile. They were quite fragile, didn't have a lot of HP, so it was brutal. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. Now, unfortunately, it looks like there was an ace match here between these two players, but I do not have that match. I do not have that map. It looks like maybe the casters did actually switch to another series or something along those lines, or maybe there was a forfeit. But game 3 was not played out, or at least I don't have the replay for game 3, unfortunately. But in the end, MacSed did claim the series. Orc has no cheap units. Best alternative he had was to pull the boys. Yeah, that would be the best alternative, but as you saw, the workers don't trigger the spider mines. I believe, like, the spider mines that were within range of the mineral line, and they weren't being triggered on the peons. So that's because I was thinking that as well. I was like, oh, maybe we can like pull a couple of stray workers here and there to try to bait them out, but I don't think that would quite work out, unfortunately. So really rough, really rough there, really rough. Regardless, Chasse, he will take the series. Again, I don't have the ace match, but Chasse does take it, and Chasse, he will advance on into the next round where he's going to be facing off against YoungYakov. Let's go, the SE2 Zerg player. We go. Of course, the workers are used to working in mines. I see what you did there, Eistad. I see what. God damn it. But here we go, spawning in the top left hand corner. Top left hand corner here of Abyssal Reef, we do have our undead player, the blue undead. It is YoungYakov. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the man of the hour himself, the Chinese Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss, representing SC Boy. It is Chasse. Here we go. Yeah, Chasse, even though he's a main Zerg, he has been mixing it up a little bit, but I will emphasize once again what I mentioned earlier. So far, from what we've observed, covering all of these Warcraft 3 Evolution tournaments, covering all these events, we have observed that the SE2 Protoss does feel like the best SE2 race against Warcraft 3, just because of like the power behind its individual units. That's at least what we've observed, and it looks like Chasse has agreed with that as well, going for Protoss. Here we go. So we are building up back at home. Soon getting to our first unit. Now, we often do see Lich as an opener when it comes to the undead side of things. Lich does have a lot of potential, has a lot of kiting potential, has, of course, the Frost Nova as well. But against SE2 Protoss, I don't know how useful that AoE damage is. But there it is, yeah, Lich is on the way. So Lich is just a very common opening hero here for undead. Has a lot of kiting potential, has a lot of slows, has AoEs. So Yakov does open Lich. Meanwhile, going for the scout. Does move out with his boy, with his ghoul. Let's go. Likewise, back at home, we do have, I was going to say standard opener. It's going to be a 2-gate opener out of Chasse, so this will mean a delayed expansion. Delayed expansion, 2-gate opener, early second pylon as well. We just see the ghoul is here to try to harass him. We'll pick off maybe a probe. But the probe does pull away. And the ghoul can't quite keep up. So he's just being as annoying as possible. As we can see here, 2-gate opener into faster stalkers. I mean, a standard opener to go for a faster expansion here would be punished by this early ghoul. So far a solid start here from Chasse. Playing safe. And he does lock the army in with that forge. Speaking of, yo, the boys are being pulled. Oh my god. Acolytes are being sent across the map. That I was not quite expecting. Meanwhile, the ghoul does get shut down as it rushes into the mineral line. Gets one probe before going down. So the ghoul does fall. The boys have arrived. Let's go. Oh my god. Yeah, the boys are set up. Lich is on the way, pulling extra boys. Ay, ay, ay. So it does look like we were a little bit premature with these acolytes, a little bit, as there is no mining, or barely any mining happening across the map. There's a couple of boys, a couple of acolytes. Meanwhile, it looks like we have researched Frost Nova. So as you mentioned, Frost Nova, that is the AoE here for the Lich, and we'll see if we can bust in. We'll see if we can bust in. There we go. The Lich has arrived. Acolytes, they have a melee attack, if I'm not mistaken. They can punch, right? Oh, so far, Frost Nova does go off. Yeah, the Acolytes, they hit or try to bust down that front door. There is one shield battery, but there's no energy overcharge. The first Stalker is going to go down. Oh, barely survives. Whew. Barely does survive. The clangs again. I love. It's like they're beating on the buildings with like rocks. How hard are the hands? Oh my god. I mean, they are undead. True. But the effect changes once the shields run out. There it is. God damn it. Meanwhile, so far the Stalkers, they do quite well focusing on the hero. The hero down to less than half HP. The Lich has almost gone down. Yeah, and without the Lich, I mean, there's nothing really left here. The Acolytes, they bust down that front door. They make their way in. Lich is pushing forward. The second shield battery is now done. And Chasse is holding. Chasse, he's holding on. Again, the Lich down to 35 HP. We get another Frost Nova. But the Acolytes are falling one after the other. And Chasse can soon and just hunt this Lich down. Unfortunately, there's no blink. There's no blink. But Yakov has to get the hell out of here, as the rush has failed. Now, bearing in mind back at home he is expanding, we do have a natural base, and bearing in mind that's the reality is those Acolytes, they're pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap here. Again, you just need a handful of Acolytes to efficiently mine from these gold mines. We can see another mine on the way. And even though the rush fails, I mean, he's also... Oh no! Oh, get out of here! Lich, don't go down to the ogre! Oh no! The Lich goes down! Not like this! GG, yeah, GG gets called. Does lose the Lich here in the retreat. It's dangerous out here. It's dangerous in the Abyssal Reef. Oh my god. And with that, shall say he will take the game. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Chasse does take a lead in the series. Again, Yakov, the initial rush wasn't quite able to get much done. I mean, thankfully, as a reminder, Chasse did open safe, right? He went for a 2-gate opener. He went for a late Nexus. 2-gate opener, double Stalker, safety shield battery, fully walled off as well with that Forge. Didn't have any cannons, but he did fully wall off, so he was able to buy so much time. The Acolytes, they eventually broke through. That is true, but by the time they did, we had some really nice target firing out of Chasse because he wasn't targeting the Acolytes. Initially, he was targeting the Lich. And the Lich got down to very low HP. Didn't kill it, but did deter the rush, and even did go down to the neutral creeps in the center, to the Ogre King. Yo, don't mess with the Ogre King, papi. Oh my god. As that leads us into game number 2. Love the sound. Startail Bomber, that brings back some memories, 100%. But here we go, spawning in the right-hand corner, we have our now SC2 Zerg player. We have an SC2 Zerg player down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Chinese caster himself, the blue human player. It is Fressy Boy Chasse. go welcome one all to Amygdala. Amygdala here is being map number 2. Once again, we have our natural base. Now, the thing that I find the most interesting about Amygdala is, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I really like the feature, because bases and mineral patches and gas geysers are automatically replaced by these encampments, by the merchants, the goblin merchants, or by the mercenary camps, or by the tavern in the center. Because they're being replaced, that has meant that the center of the map is open. Again, the gold minerals that are usually here, the base that is usually here, has been replaced by a goblin laboratory. That means, bam, there's no gold minerals here, and that means suddenly the Warcraft 3 player has access to the center. This means that it's easier to, of course, punish this gold base, or even to race into this gold as well if they really want to. I mean, minerals / lumber are less valuable, to be fair, but of course you do rush into the center to rush into that early neutral camp if we were to rush into something like a Beastmaster, like a Rexar, or like a Pandarian, like a Brewmaster. The tavern is available. And if you recall, the Warcraft 3 player Liu Li would often rush into the Beastmaster early on. Meanwhile, is going to be the initial hero of choice. Once again, going for the Archmage. So Archmage opener here by Xiaoxe. Does open up with the initial 2 footmen. And we have seen a lot of struggles with SE2 Zerg, to be honest, in this race, just because drones and lings are so fragile. They're so fragile early on, and we'll see what Xiaoxe can get done. Yeah, the boys are moving out. Let's go. Footmen, they do move out, making their way towards the natural. We're going to harass the Mineral Lion, and so far YoungYakov, he does pull back. Oh, does pull back, does pull away. We'll lose 1 drone. And 1 drone does fall. So far, just the 1. Black White Swordman gets surrounded, but like, oh, and so far doesn't quite get a save. There we go. So he gets the 2nd worker, 2nd drone. Oh, that's a long sword. he killed that drone from so far away. Oh my god, once again. I mean, it is a long sword, true. So taking down 3 workers so far. Gets 3. Oh, he gets 4. Yeah, 4 drone kills, and looks like we'll trade against the lings. And might get 1 more worker here as the lings are all going down. 1 footman falls. And what is that? 6 lings, 4 drones. And maybe 1 more ling for 2 footmen. Not a bad trade. Not a bad trade here from Xiaoxe. Meanwhile, going to be reinforcing. Archmage is moving out across the map. Did upgrade water elementals. And meanwhile, looks like YoungYakov does fully wall off here on 2 bases. Spine crawlers are on the way. As you mentioned, lings, they don't really add too much DPS or value here in the early game defense, so spine crawlers are going to be more ideal. Water elemental does spawn in. Oh, trying to go for the queens. Queens, though, they do outrange the elemental. And YoungYakov, he's safe. Right now, he's safe and sound. Getting another spine crawler, droning up. Recognizes doesn't quite need it. And he holds. YoungYakov, he does hold on. Behind this, Xiaoxe taking his own natural. Working towards his blacksmith. Working towards, I would imagine, rifleman. That's usually the go-to composition, is to go from the Archmage into rifleman. It's like a range-based army. We're back to creeping. Yo, we've been creeping. Meanwhile, you see YoungYakov going to be switching things up and going into a Roach Tech. Roach Warren has been thrown down. Yo, look at the gases. Jesus. What's going on here? Something's not quite right. Jeez. Yo, the steam's escaping the gas geysers. The assimilators. Aye. Extractors even. Look, the mod is a little bit rough around the edges. A little bit. It's okay. It's okay. Xiaoxe setting up back at home. Of course, there is a day-night cycle here in the mod. True. That does mainly impact Night Elves, for example. And of course, it impacts how the creeps do operate, whether they're asleep or not. Is just looking to break out, building up his army. Again, riflemen are now amassing as well. Building up his dwarves. YoungYakov taking his third base. And getting into the mid game is where a Zerg player can really come into their own here. Getting to a proper 3-base economy, 3-base saturation, looking to set up and even max out on 3 bases as well. This is where I'm a little bit concerned here for Chassé when it comes to how well he can scale into a longer game. So now trying to break out. Oh! MaxPax pulls away the footman. We have Burrow on the way here from YoungYakov. Interesting. Likewise, now being a little bit active, moving out with his lings to scout across the map. Notice here as well. Looks like Chassé did end up purchasing one of the Goblin Shredders. Shredding those minerals. Let's go. I love that, like, the visual effect is still that they're just gathering lumber. Gathering lumber from the minerals. Beautiful. Like, the gold mines make more sense just because the assimilator turns it, or the gas geyser just turns into a mine. So it's like, okay. But yeah, get that wood. Also have some arcane sanctums here in production for extra sages. Yakov, he is now on a 3-base economy, looking solid, building up his roach army. And without any proper splash damage, I'm again concerned here for Chassé. Working on his Mountain King. King. There's a lot of these upgrades that I just have no idea what they are. I just building up upgrades. It's fine. They just, he's just upgrading his units. Don't need any details. Oh, as YoungYakov, he is burrowed here in the center. We have tunneling claws on the way. There is potential to try to catch out the army. Here we go, Yakov being active. It's moving out. Chassé, he doesn't see this coming. Doesn't have the Zelnaga. Doesn't have vision. And here come the roaches barring onto the army here, and there is zero detection. Yeah, zero detection here from Chassé. Roaches so far. 52 roaches here from YoungYakov. Just rallying across the map. Tumors have been knocked down. And Chassé, he doesn't quite see this. He doesn't know. Chassé trying to expand, getting a third base. Army about to be caught out. Yakov is moving in. And who does he go for?
Mineral field depleted.
Who does he go for? He gets a free unit. Gets a free Mountain King. Yeah, massive pickoff. Takes out one of the heroes. Denies the expansion, and now he's moving in. Now he's moving forward. Chassé, he's in a world of hurt. He's in trouble. As he doesn't see this. Again, he has no detectors. No. Yeah, there's the Unburrow. Takes down the initial tower. And there's no escaping this. No escaping all these roaches. The detector has arrived. It doesn't matter. And Chassé is going to be overwhelmed as YoungYakov, he will bust through that natural. Gets into the main base. Mountain King comes back. Does stun part of the army. That's a long stun. But alas, once again the Mountain King going to go down for a second time. And it does fall. Once again getting under the hero. Locking down the rifleman. And making sure there just is no kiting potential here. He's going to try to recall. He will save his hero. Oh my god. Gets out of the surround. Nice movement, to be honest. Very nice movement. And he's holding on. There we go. He sounds the alarm. The peasants, they pick up arms. They militia. Despite that, there's just still too many roaches though. I mean, YoungYakov did respect it, made sure he didn't get surrounded. Pulls away, heals up, burrowing under the army. And these are still better trades for Yakov, as he's still just rallying everything across the map. Once again, army gets slowed. It's a slow, not a stun. Interesting. That's for the third time. For the third time, the Mountain King goes down. He wants the Archmage though. He wants him. Can he get him? Oh god. The heal so far are solid. Does survive, does slip away. Oh, and Chasse, he's holding on. Oh my god, impressive. He does hold, does preserve his army. Again, you can see just how tanky these riflemen and more importantly, the Archmage was. Does hold on. Meanwhile, Yakov getting ready for the second wave, building up Ravagers. Likewise, a lot of boys have to be pulled. Most of the workers, I mean, they're now gone. So there is no economy. Has a bit of a bank to work with. Oh. Likewise, Yakov moving. Oh, Yakov moving in. How's this balance? How did he survive? These units are tankier than normal, so the army of the human of the Warcraft 3 army is smaller. So it's a smaller army, so it has to be stronger, right, to make up for that. Oh, like this is like prime example of the supply lies, right? The soup does lie, but regardless, there's no more economy behind this, no more militia either, and the riflemen, they're finally going to be going down. YoungYakov, he finally breaks through, takes down all the riflemen, gets on top of the last Archmage. And this time there's no escaping. It's the Biles! Oh my god. Biles do connect. Biles do connect. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he will tie things up and take the second game. Whew. GG. GG, well played. So tanky, yes, that is for balance purposes. I think a lot of people, I think they get the wrong impression when they see like a 150 supply army going up against like a 70 supply army. They're like, oh, this larger army should win. It's like, no, that's not necessarily the case. They're more equivalent than they seem, just because Warcraft units need to be more tanky and they need to do more damage because there's less of them. Just to reiterate once again, the Warcraft 3 army is punished if it gets too large because of the upkeep system. You actually earn less resources and less money if your army gets any larger. So smaller armies are the norm. The norm. But here we go. We're jumping into our next game. Here we go. Jumping into the ace match, and we'll see how this story unfolds. Let's go. We'll take it. A spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our red Zerg player, our Brood War Zerg. Let's go. It is YoungYakov. Tying up the series 1-1 and spawning in the right-hand corner. We have the Brood War Terran player, the blue Terran from the land of China, representing SC Boy. It is Chasse. Here we go. So as a reminder, Chasse did win game 1 with SC2 Proto, so he cannot play SC2 anymore. Meanwhile, we saw game 2, YoungYakov won with SC2 Zerg, and now that means neither player can rock up with SC2 races. Now it is Brood War versus Brood War. Let's go. As the initial units do move out. This time there are no creep camps, of course. There's no need for them, as we do have Chasse setting up in the low ground. Now, the last time we saw him in his series against Rotterdam, Chasse did open up racks into factory, into early tanks, into mass vulture, into mech. I'll be honest, I do expect something very similar here out of Chasse coming into game number 3. Meanwhile, we do see YoungYakov going hatch gas pool, standard opener out of our Zerg player here. YoungYakov, he has a lot of experience with StarCraft Evolution as well, so he is much more well versed with a Brood War Zerg. And we'll see what his answer is going to be to the mech that's on the way. We're making the assumption that Chase is playing mech, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on him. Oh, because we have our Rax on the low ground, but do you see what I see? A Rax on the high ground. This might be a 3 Rax. Okay. Now, as a reminder, 3 Raxes, they do hit different. They do hit harder in Brood War just because of Stim, just because the Academy, the early Stim timing and early medics are insane. So I'm curious to see if we throw down an extra Rax if we do go for the Academy behind this. Let's go. Yo, that's a different model. Let's go. I love the way the Marine looks here. The way that he like points or he aims the gun up. Let's go. I believe this does look different to the StarCraft Evolution model, right? The Marine, I mean. There it is. Yep, there's Academy. So again, in Brood War, you don't need add-ons. You don't need any tech labs for Stim. You do need the Academy instead. But the Academy doesn't just produce Stim. It also allows you to get into medic production as well. So we did mention now 3 Maxes, they hit different. They hit harder. They are stronger in Brood War than they are in SE2 because of this fact, right? Because you don't need a starport for support. You need an Academy, and then bam, you can make medics. So the Stim timing here is going to be even stronger. It does hit earlier. It also has more sustainability because you can Stim more often because of that medic support, and we'll see how YoungYakov prepares back at home. So far, Safety Colony. Safety Colony is on the way. Likewise, going for 2-base lair, going into Lurker Tech. Okay, this I was not expecting, but yeah, it's going to 2 bases. The lair is on the way. Based on the early Hydrogen, this should be for early Lurkers, I would imagine. Yeah, it's going for the double den, double upgrades here. So 2-base Lurker out of YoungYakov. The SCV Scout does confirm. And the question becomes, what hits first? The Lurkers or the Stim? What does hit first? As Stim is halfway done. Medics, they're on the way. Medics are building up. Chassé, soon to move out. Yeah, the Marine model, it's different. Like, even head-on, it is a different model to the StarCraft Evolution mod. Interesting. That's a big shield. Let's go. As we do move out. Lurker Tech is still on the way. And you can see just a wall of spine crawlers. Yeah, just a wall of colonies on the way. Again, Yakov cannot defend, and not on his own, as he's not ready with the lurkers. So colonies are about to finish up. They're still a couple of seconds off. Does scan, does see this, he has to go. And it looks like he might be too late. He stims up the ramp. First colony is already ready. Does focus down. Second colony now has arrived. Yeah, getting to 2, getting to 3. Yeah, the side defense does finish up just in time. Hydras, they trickle in. And Yakov holds. Whew. Yakov, he does hold on. Against Shasta, he was just a couple of seconds too late. And now here come the Lunkers. Lunkers are morphing in. And soon you can see just the momentum swing from one player then to the other. Scan reveals the Lurkers. Lurker Tech is ready. Oh, can't fire without the Lurkers though, has to be careful. Likewise, behind this we have Siege mode on the way, so we're getting into Bio Tank. Third TC is in production as well. Not mech, out of Chassé. Bio Tank instead. Rallying across the map. And so far, the goal here for Chassé is not to break the natural, but it is to contain. To contain the Zerg player on 2 bases for as long as possible. We have Link Speed on the way. Hydra upgrades alongside this. And hopefully Chassé is looking. Oh! Oh my god. Does pull back. This for a scan, takes out one Lurker. Just gets a 1. Now, I don't think the mischance is in Warcraft 3 Evolution mod, just as a heads up. Don't think there is that mischance here. But I guess we'll find out. As third base is being taken. Lurkers, they waddle across the map. Could even set up a trap here. He's in the center. More lurkers morphing in. Likewise, the biotank army is massing up. He's massing. Once again, Yakov trying to bait the army in. Oh. Trying to. So we do have a bit of a lull here so far in the game. Oh, you see YoungYakov is taking up into the Queen's Nest. Queens would be ideal. For those that haven't tuned into Brood War before, Queens are a very different unit in Brood War. They're spellcasters. They're almost like an air infester, I suppose, where they have Ensnare. Oh. They can, of course, spawn Broodlings as well. Meanwhile, the Bio Army gets completely caught out. Very nice catch here by YoungYakov, and he moves out. He moves out, he commits. He's pushing across the map. YoungYakov not in position, the third base is exposed. The army a little bit too far back here. And Yakov will deny the third. Now moving in. Going for the tank. The first tank should fall. Oh, just barely. Tank goes down. YoungYakov, he controls the high ground. And Chassé, he has to rotate over towards the other side. Does rotate back. Queen's Nest is now done. Yakov rotates. Backs off, rotates over. Chassé still trying to retake this expansion. Doesn't pull away. Likewise, I don't believe Irradiate has been researched yet. But he's getting into his science vessels. I mean, that will still help here against the lurkers, true. Against the lunkers. The whole position. Oh my god. Nice opposition micro. Takes on the first wave of Marines and the second wave as well. Whew. Yakov, he's got some moves. Science has finally arrived. Lurkers are going to be going down. Lynx is trying to reinforce. Here come the more lurkers. They try to come in from behind. And nice trades here against the bio. Once again within range of the CC. There's a defense matrix here on that tank. The tank should hold its own. And the tank will shut this down. There's, what, 2 lurkers left. Chassé holds. Whew. Chassé does hold on. Again, for those who are curious, I guess it's almost like the opposite of the Raven, where the Raven has the anti-armor missile. Meanwhile, the science vessel has the defensive matrix instead. Where you can get a shield around a unit. So nice setup there from Chassé. Does hold. Behind this, the Queen's Nest is done, but I believe we haven't... What have we gotten here? Yeah, we haven't gotten any Queen production yet. Now working towards the Ultra Cavern. Hive is done. Wait, did we get the... Okay, good. So it looks like we just got the Queen's Nest for the Hive. And YoungYakov is going Ling, Hydra, Lurker into Ultra Tech. You know, I did mention how Irradiate was missing. There we go. Irradiate is now being researched. Irradiate is on the way. We're getting there. Yo, let's go. Queens are coming. Now, in this version of the game, I don't know if you need to research spawn broodlings. I'm not certain that the queen comes out with the ability with the spells already available to them. But they do have spawn broodlings, they have parasite, and they do have ensnare. Drop into the main. Distracting Yakov. Forcing him back. Does get a full scout, does scout the hive, does scout the Ultra Cavern. Science vessels moving in, irradiating the lurkers initially. I'm not too fond of that. It does feel like a little bit of a waste here. Ideally, you want to save the irradiate for when the main attack does occur. Okay, all 3 lurkers go down. You don't want to pull a Kiwi in, where you irradiate prematurely and then you're not ready for the main fight. Speaking of, tower gets knocked down. Yakov buying time, going for a massive Ling run by. Go, Radiant Lurkers, Lings, they do hit the mineral line. Shall stay out of position. Gonna try to respond. It does F2 for a moment there, and SCVs are going down. And Chassé is committing. Reinforcements will clean this up, but he's losing SCVs. Oh, does dive in. Tries to break out. Tanks are unsieged. Chassé does turn around for a moment. 13 SCV kills. Still moving in. Ooh, does overextend. Both sides supposed to go down. Yeah, massive overextension. Do we have an irradiate? Oh, not quite. Bio army. Oh no! No detection! Oh my god, the Lurkers, they pop off. I just ran into the Lurkers. Half the bio army goes down. And once he overextends with the science vessels, he'll lose both. 1 and 2 science vessels go down. They get thrown away. 0 detection. Meanwhile, yeah, it looks like Ensnare is being researched. So the queens, there are queens there, but they actually have quite limited capabilities here. Lings go for another run by. 15 SCVs go down. Chassé forced all the way back home, losing everything here at the third, losing his entire mineral line. 16 SCVs. But there we go. Now we have Ensnare. So Ensnare is available here for Yakov. He does not have spawned broodlings. So that is under an upgrade. Or locked behind an upgrade. Now moving in. Does Ensnare the army. Lurkers, they push forward. Yeah, there's no escaping this. Yakov, he breaks through. He busts through the tank line. GG gets called, and Yakov will take the series 2-1, taking down Chassé. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Intense back and forth. A couple of step-ups here and there from Chassé. I do think the initial Ling run by at the third base was manageable. He didn't lose too many SCVs. I think it was 8 SCVs in total. But unfortunately, he did overextend, and he did overextend a little bit too much, a little bit too often with his science vessels. We saw what, 4, almost 5, up to 6 science vessels thrown away in that game because they did overextend, pushing too far forward over those hydras. So time and time again they were shut down, and because of that, detection was very limited, and we did see those Lurkers trade very nicely, especially towards the end of that fight, shutting down Chassé and just giving so much momentum to the Zerg, to Yakov. GG. GG, well played. With that, Yakov, he will claim the series and he will advance on to the semi-finals. Now, when it comes to the semis, we have 4 players here lined up. We have Honmono. We did see him in the chat earlier. He's going to be up against F91 in the upper semi-finals, and we have Yakov versus Kurian in the lower semis. Now, Kurian is a Korean Protoss that I'm very unfamiliar with. I'm curious if they are potentially a Warcraft 3 player. So I'm interested to find out. Otherwise, for now, we're going to be going on a short break. We just wrapped up the quarterfinals, and up next after the break we have the semis and then the grand finals thereafter. So we have 3 series left here, both semifinals and the finals thereafter. We'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon, Papi. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the second half of the broadcast. Welcome back to the 2025 Kung Fu Cup number 6 Warcraft 3 Evolution Edition. Welcome to the semi-finals. We just wrapped up with the round of 16 and with the quarterfinals, but now we're back with our top 4. With our top 4 players, we have our lineup here. We have Hon Mono alongside F91. Likewise, we have YoungYakov and Kurian as well. Here we go. Some players that I'm a little bit less familiar with, but especially when it comes to Kurian, the South Korean Protoss, we'll be casting him for the first time later on. For now, though, we have our TVZ. I mean, in a way, we have Homeowner and F91 facing off in the first round, or in the semis. Let's go. Game 1 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. Of course, Homeowner has been very active when it comes to the modded tournament scene, specifically with StarCraft Evolution, and now dipping his toes into Warcraft 3 Evolution as well. We'll see how he compares. We'll see how he looks coming into this series, coming into this tournament. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the Chinese Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg for Team SE Boy. It is the caster himself. It is F91. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Brood War Terran. For Team Hyper 1, it is Hon Mono. And again, Hon Mono, he is very well versed with Brood War Terran. No surprise that he does pick Brood War Terran as his starting race, not even SE2 Terran, and it's going to be a short one as he does open up with a proxy 3 racks. Here we go, 3 racks Mass Marine out of Hon Mono. Very cheesy, very aggressive player is our Korean Terran, and F91, for the time being, has no idea. Is going Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener here out of F91. The first Overlord is going to be sent across the map, and we'll see if he gets a read on what's going on. Meanwhile, I love how the tavern is still here. Wait, no one can use it, but the tavern is still in the center of the map. Let's go. As the Overlord does move over. Likewise, so far has no idea what's happening. The 3 axes is about to finish, and this should be a 3x Mass Marine bunker rush, we should be seeing bunkers alongside this from the side of Hon Mono. We do see the Overlord does check the linear 3rd location, and the 2nd Overlord will confirm the proxy. So nice movement here, nice positioning from F91. Oh, a little bit further, and he will soon be aware. Yeah, there we go. He knows. Now he knows. Now he is aware. He does see everything here on the right-hand side. And we'll see how he responds. Now, against a proxy 3 racks, it might be wise to just give up on the natural. Just give up the natural base, set up here on the high ground. He does pull the boys, though. Oh, he's crazy. He's crazy. While the boys are being pulled, Marines are going to be amassing. The initial bunker is going to be canceled. Bunker is denied. Mining time is being lost here for F91. At least he does deny said bunker, but the Marine count is building up. And soon, Homono, he can just fight this head on. He can and he will. Hatchery under threat, under fire. Bunkers can now be thrown down. There we go. Bunker is within range of the hatchery. First bunker's on the way. 1 bunker is all he needs. It's all he needs. Link production has begun. The Queen is on the way as well. Boys are about to be pulled, but we have so many Marines. And Links they poke in, they get targeted down one after the other. Nice target firing out of Homono. There's 1 lane left, takes down the drones, and the bunker will finish. The bunker, it looks like it will complete. There's still 3 SCVs left. Chasse is trying to catch reinforcements, but alas, Homono is in position. Bunker does finish, and for now he just abandons the bunker. He does go straight for the kill, straight for the main. Oh, Queen has arrived. The Queen has arrived. Homono, his eyes are on said Queen. Yeah, loads up the bunker. Oh, trading with the army. Getting another couple of lings. The hatchery itself getting very low. Oh my god. Yeah, the hatchery gets low, the hatchery goes down. Massive pickoff. As I mentioned before, against a proxy 3 racks, there is an option available to just give up on the natural to go for 1 base roach. But F91, he didn't go for it, and he will lose everything here. Lings, they come in from behind. Nice start stepping. GG gets called. Homono, he overwhelms, and Homono, he will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Homono does take a lead. Again, a hyper-aggressive start out of Homono. F91 had a bit of a lackluster response. I would have liked his response if it was 2 racks, but it was a 3 rack setup here, so he had extra Marines, he had an extra SCV as well. He had that much more to maintain that position, and F91, he failed to deter the bunker rush. The bunker still got up and running, despite pulling all those boys. He could not stop the rush and was overwhelmed. Then and there. GG, well played. Also lost a lot of mining time in the process as well. And we'll see if F91 can recover jumping into Game 2. Game 2 is going to be on ley lines. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have our Brood War Zerg player. Okay, we have our Brood War Zerg player himself, the Chinese Zerg for Team SE Boy. It is F91. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the SC2 Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homono. Now, Homono, he's very well versed in Brood War and SE2. He may, and I'm curious here when it comes to this series and when it comes to other matches, I wonder if he just avoids Warcraft 3 entirely. And I wonder if he can get away with that and how long he gets away with that. I would love to see him embrace Warcraft 3, but so far he is not doing so. If, of course, our opposing player can force the ace match, then we could see a Warcraft 3 force here by Homono, but the pressure is on F91. Pressure's on so far. Hatch first, and this time Homono doesn't cheese. This time Homono, he doesn't proxy, just going for his own racks into gas, into his own economic start. We're slowing things down, getting into Game 2. Once again, I love that the tavern is still in the middle. and we still have the day-night cycle as well. Let's go. The Overlord tells me that. Back at home, Homono setting up. Going for his Reaper opener. Again, just one gas, guys. Just Homono is going for a faster expansion. He's going for a more economic start. Likewise, a hatch gas pool out of our Zerg player. Oh, we're using the new models. Oh, let's go. We're using the new gas geyser model as well. That's really cool. It's cool that they are updating the StarCraft Evolution models into this. Part of me still wishes that there was a little bit more like cohesion and a little bit more unison between the two mods, where they can just implement the StarCraft Evolution like balance patches. I think that would be ideal, just so that they can focus on like the Warcraft 3 balance side of things. But regardless, the initial Reaper does move out. A CC on the high ground, so a safer start here to Homono, as he does not get it on location. Reaper dips in. Dancing with the army. And so far, I mean, trades well. Forcing back the lings, getting into the mineral line. We see F91 trying to keep up. Alas, he will bleed out more lings. Bleeds out more of his army. Likewise, first Sunken Colony is going to be on the way. Very safe setup here from F91. As a reminder, there are no queens to defend, so we have to rely here on purely lings and ling speed. Without it, this first Reaper is getting a lot done. Oh. Getting one ling kill so far, and does pull out. Oh, ling speed kicks in, and the Reaper does get picked off. Nice snipe there from F91. Behind this, going into and rushing into a very fast lair. Now, with this lair rush, this could be one of two things. Either F91 is going into 2-base Spire and 2-base Muta, or he's going 2-base Hydrogen into 2-base Lurker Tech. Now, I'm leaning towards Muta play because there should be a Hydrogen, right? There should be a Hydrogen by now, but there isn't. Instead, we're walling up, so we should be going and embracing Muta play. Meanwhile, Homono has no idea. Homono, he is not scattered across the map. He does not see what's going on. Homono, he's rushing into Ghost. Oh my god. What is happening? So, Ghost rush out of Homono. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have F91 going for his own Spire play. So, it is 2-base Muta out of our Zerg, as we did mention, just because of the fast lair and because of the lack of Hydrogen early on. Meanwhile, it is going to be a Hellbat Ghost push here from Homono. Now, we have seen these builds in SE2, and this is designed to break through a defensive line of queens, like Ghosts that do so well sniping queens, and the Hellbats deal with the Ling supports, and you can just end the game with like a Hellbat's Ghost timing. Here it's going to be a little bit different because there are no queens. Instead, there are sunken colonies, which are quite robust. I'm curious to see how this composition comes together against a Brood War army. Spire is almost done. Ghosts are amassing. First Ghost has arrived. Actually taking a lot of hits here from the Hellions. Taking a lot of hits. Scan does reveal the lair, does reveal the Spire result. Massive scout from Homono. He knows he's on a timer. He's aware of what's going on. And he has a little bit more time before he has to pull the trigger. Now going to be researching high-sec auto tracking. Let's go. Yeah, high-sec auto tracking on the way. That, of course, does help benefit and help support turrets. Turrets and side defense. Specifically turrets, planetaries. As Lings are being forced back, we have 7 mutas in production. And that's a lot of Hellions here for Homeowner. He has to make use of this army. Again, ideally, he wants to go for a Hellbat push. The armory is done. The armory has been done for quite some time. The Ghosts are here, but I guess now it's too late. Mutas have arrived, and this army can do nothing against a Muta army across the map. So he's stuck at home. So Homeowner, he's stuck turtling. He's turtling up back at home. He's throwing down the wall of turrets. Meanwhile, we have a fast Queen's Nest here from F91. Interesting. Fast Queen's Nest into Hive Tech, or into early Queen production. Mutas move out. We could even see fast Hive into Guardians. That would be crazy, but true. Good try. Oh my god, get out of the lines! That's mine shots, they pop up. They shut down, what, 2 or 3 meters? Aye. And just like that, Homeowner, he does defend. He does hold on. Forces back F91. Hive is on the way. Show us that Greater Spire. Show us the Guardians. I mean, there aren't that many mutas to morph into Guardians anymore, but I mean, there is potential. Now, you could argue that against Ghosts, which, I mean, F91 doesn't actually know the build that occurred. I think he may have caught a glimpse of the Ghosts, but the early Ghost Rush does mean that Guardians would not be the answer, actually. As much as I would love to see fast Guardian play, Ghost would completely shut down the Guardians. Completely. Scan reveals the Queen's Nest and the Hive. Ghosts are revealed. They're about to be, I should say. The Ghosts are fanning out, trying to hunt down those mutas. More mutas building up. If we're making more mutas, it has to. I mean, technically, this can still be ultras. We have a melee upgrade, so this could be Ling muta into ultra. It would be more sensible. Before we can talk about the ultras, though, this army is moving out, and I'll be honest, I'm not so sure. I'm not so certain here that our Zerg player can survive this. The muta count just isn't really there. And here we go, the Hellbats have arrived. Scans ahead of time, does spot 2 sunken colonies. Colonies on the way here at the 4th. The 4th is exposed. Lings, they move in. The Lings, they melt. Yeah, they get roasted. Snipe's going to be going off. Mutas, they get completely shut down. Ooh, they do break the lock on, and this base is forfeit. Yeah, the hatchery will fall. It's only 4 ghosts, but again, the muta count just isn't high enough. Oh. And speaking of snipes, they pop up once again. Oh god. As half the muta cloud does fall to the snipes. Hellions, they evacuate, they pull away. The mine shot! Oh my god. Would have minded set. And F91, he holds on. Does hold. Once again, I appreciate that, I don't know if you noticed, but in this mod specifically, the fire effects, they persist. Specifically, they persist on dead bodies, just because, I mean, corpses actually come into play for Warcraft 3. Because, of course, you can consume, and you can turn corpses into skeletons and consume them. Like, there's value there, so that's why they persist. But I appreciate it. It's just a nice little effect that isn't the case when it comes to, like, regular SE2. I noticed. Meanwhile, the Hive is done, has been done for quite some time, and it is going to be Ling Muta into Ultra. No Greater Spire, which again, against the fast ghost, it makes sense. I mean, I say it makes sense, but at the same time, Ultras are also going to be vulnerable. Like, because of the fast ghost build here out of Homono, he is ready for all things Hive. It's crazy. He's ready for Ultras, for Guardians. He's good to go. And he reinforces with Battle Mech. With Hellion Widowmine. Mutas, they come in. Mind shots do go up. Massive connections. Muta's gonna be zoned away. Homono even going into Neosil frames. Neosil frames. Going into Cyclones. Embracing Battle Mech. Rotate, catching out to 2 more of these Overlords. Hellions get roasted. Hellions, they get roasted up. Likewise, waddling in. Going for the expansion. The side defense is not long for this world. Things, they try to come in from behind. Oh. Oh my god. There's so many Widowmines available here. The Mutas, they just cannot engage. Not like this. Don't go in. The base is going to be forfeits. And the Mutas, they just cannot touch this army. As the mineral line goes down, the expansion as well. Mutas, instead, they go for a counterattack. Good call. Heads across the map. Does run into the Cyclones. But the turrets, they do hold the line. And Homono, he turns back around. He wants those Mutas. He wants them. Muta's gonna be sent away. Just shut down the Mutas, let's force him back. Meanwhile, at least F91, he does maintain a semblance of an economy here, and now he's embracing his Ultras for the first time. When it comes to his upgrades, he's only on 1-2. Like, his upgrades are lacking, to be honest. Like, the upgrades, they aren't quite there. Likewise, he has no kindness plating, just going to be prioritizing Ultra Speed instead. And Ultras are good, but as we mentioned before, like, there's still a decent ghost count here. Like, snipes are available. Like, this really early ghost setup, it shuts down this Hive tech so much. Likewise, the Mutas are, they can't really do much either because of the massive amount of Widowmines. F91's just being shut down. I do like this counterattack instead and the potential base trade. Sure, there are 3 turrets here, but these 3 turrets are going to be easy to deal with than the army of Homono. And there we go. He knocks down the turrets one after the other, busts into the mineral line. At the same time, Homono is moving in, and we're going for the base trade. The base trade is the best option here for F91, but there are so many turrets. Catching out a couple of ghosts. Turrets, oh my god, they pop off. There's just so many of them. Again, there's Neosil frames, there's high-tech auto tracking. Turrets, they trade better than they otherwise would. Army's moving in. As they get into another mineral line, they get into the main. Ultras have arrived. They're going to be shut down though. Yeah, here come the snipes. Oof. The Ultras, they melt. Oh my god. Ultras, they get sniped real fast and real quick. GG gets called. The base trade is not going well here. There's barely any Mutas across the map, and Homono, he will take game number 2 and the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Homono, he will claim the 2-0. He does not get a chance to play Warcraft 3. Instead, rocking and flexing his Brood War in SE2, does claim the series, does advance on to the grand finals, and he's waiting for the winner of our next match. Let's go. He's waiting for that winner, waiting for that next series here. Up next, we do have the lower semifinals. It is going to be a matchup between YoungYakov and Kurian. Kurian, he is a South Korean Protoss player, a player that I've never seen before. I've never seen him before, never casted him before, so I don't know what I'm getting into. What I will say, though, is that Kurian, to get this far in the tournament, who did he beat? MaxPax. MaxPax was eliminated. MaxPax got knocked out in an earlier round by Kyrian. It's really interesting, but MaxPax, he has not been playing StarCraft Evolution, but MaxPax has been playing Warcraft 3 Evolution. So I'm curious to know if MaxPax like has a history with Warcraft. Maybe he does. You know, maybe he played it when he was younger, but for whatever reason, he does have more interest in the Warcraft 3 Evolution mod, more so than StarCraft Evolution. As we have already casted MaxPax before in a previous KungFu Cup. But now we're getting into our fresh best of 3. We're getting into that next matchup here. Here we go. As game 1 is going to be on Amygdala. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our blue human player. We have our blue human himself. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss. He's green. He is Kyrian. Here we go. Let's do calm things down as we do settle in. Trying to set up, but here we go. We do have our next matchup here. We have, interestingly enough, YoungYakov playing human, not playing undead. If you recall earlier in the broadcast, he did feature undead against Zerg, but it looks like he might have a preferred race against Protoss instead, so he's going for human instead of undead. Let's go. Likewise, as I mentioned before, Kyrian is a player that I'm very unfamiliar with, very unfamiliar. So I don't know how they play, I don't know their preferred style, I don't know how to compare him against some of these others, as he does open with a Forge. Okay, so gate expand into a delayed Forge here. It looks like a quote-unquote macro cannon rush. I'm curious if he does plan on cannoning here across the map, and we'll see how that does unfold. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Mountain King opener out of YoungYakov, not going for the Archmage. Not going for the Mage, going for the King instead. Probe does move in. Forge is about to complete, and we're opening up defensive cannons, so like in a way like a Forge fast expand, or just a Forge expand, really. Interesting. Probe dips in, especially against human. I would imagine cannon rushes will be very weak, just because you can militia, right? Like you can ring the town bell, you can militia your forces, and you can just completely shut down a cannon rush. So yeah, it is more of a defensive setup instead. Very interesting. Okay, you have my attention. So you have my attention. So you have that setup here on the low ground. Again, it was a delayed Cybercore as well, so just a really odd setup here from Kyrian. There we go, safety cannon. Safety cannons, even. And that's a full wall on 2 bases, by the way. There's no way out of this. There's no way out of the natural. Meanwhile, the king has arrived. Again, just going to be creeping, clearing up these initial nulls. Oh, it's nighttime. Yeah, as it is about to be night. Likewise, did have like a spotter pylon here from Kyrian, but is going to be cleaned up. Looks like he may have attempted to try to throw down some cannons, but is going to be shot down. And Kyrian does open Robo. Interesting. So he has a Dragoon-based opener here into Robo. This may just be for Reaver drops. It would make the most sense considering the wall that he started with. And we'll see what he can get done with said Reavers. Assuming he goes to drop play, of course. Meanwhile, YoungYakov does militia a couple of workers. Clearing up those nulls. Yep, there it is. It is going to be that Reaver drop opener out of Kyrian. So going for the shuttle into Reaver production into shuttle speed. A pretty standard opener here, all things considered, from the side of Brood War Protoss. You know, it does hallucinate across the map, going for his scout. Does Hallucinate does move in. Likewise, he sees the full wall. Now, seeing a full wall like this, I mean, a Reaver drop does make sense. Another thing, this could be a Sky Toss, right? They could, Jesus, we're throwing out more cannons. This could be to a Sky Toss for all YoungYakov knows, so a very suspicious build, a very suspicious setup. You're clearing up more encampments. Trying to tank some of those shots. First Reavers on the way. Got all the hallucinations. Once again, just mass scouting. Moving out. Just spending his charges. Waiting for the first Reaver. There it is. Reaver has arrived, and here comes the drop across the map. And it's going to be a Reaver drop into what looks to be Zealot Legs. We have the Citadel of Adun on the way. Now, this does give access to Zealot Legs. It also gives access to Temple Archives and to Dark Templar and to High Templar as well. To Storm, Archons, DTs. So we'll see what he does embrace. YoungYakov still just creeping. He'd just be creeping. Down all the encampments. The shuttle is still yet to move out across the map, which is interesting to me, so it's going to be a little bit more delayed as a result. You might just be waiting for a second Reaver. Ooh, scan across the map. And Yakov, he sees everything. He sees the bay, he sees the robo. He now knows that a Reaver drop is coming. He also is aware of the ground-based follow-up and that there is no Sky Toss. So very important scout there from Yakov. Likewise, did order his own Shadow Priest. Let's go. For those that are curious, the scan was this reveal. The reveal from the laboratory. Yakov, he knows what's up. Reaver drop is finally coming. Yakov doesn't really have anything in position here, not yet, but he does pull back. And again, based on the scan, he is aware of what's happening. Or at least he should be. Yeah. Turns back around. Getting in position back at home. Tyrion moving in. Here come those Reaver drops. Likewise, we have DTs behind this as well. Working on Maelstrom. Oh! Shocker's off. So far, getting... Oh, geez, these workers are so tanky. So tanky. One worker goes down, getting two. Sorry, just the one even. Oh, the stun! Oh my god! Yo, the king comes in. He does get a storm bolt off, stuns the Reaver, stuns the shuttle, I should say. And that's it. Shuttle is gone, 2 Reavers go down, and suddenly YoungYakov, he defends beautifully. He lost 1 worker, by the way. Bearing in mind that the second peasant did survive on barely any HP. Again, they are just so tanky. And Kyrian, he's in a rough position. He built up so much towards that Reaver drop, and he achieved nothing with it. He killed 1 peasant. And Yakov breaks out. Again, a very nice Stormbolt. And now he's reinforcing. Now he has a second hero. Yo, we got Kael'thas. You are not... No, what does he say? Oh, as DTs do waddle in. Okay, that our Templar opener here paying off. Getting into the natural. Does get in. I guess we can Thunderclap. Well, does that reveal a DT? As our Templar does head back in. I believe we can try to use the reveal from the laboratory. As, yeah, there's 2 DTs, one in the main, one in the natural. Oh, and this is getting a lot done. It is just keeping him pinned back home. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we have the Griffin Rider on the way. Yeah, there's the first reveal. And Kyrian is going in for the kill. Again, did a great job of just causing chaos and causing mayhem. Tower goes down. I believe there's Maelstrom as well. I believe that was researched. So he's gonna be chased back. Catches a Dragoon, not bad. Gets 1. Or gets 2 even. Takes down 2 Dragoons. Kyrian, he gets the hell out of here. Does pull back. Maelstrom was researched. So going mass dark, so just going mass dark Archon into Dragoon. Let's go. And King moves in. Oh, takes out one of the Archons. Nice pickup. And he does stun the entire army here. Reaver has arrived though. Shot goes off. Massive connection. Just the one though. And Yakov is pushing his way through. Oh, stunning another Archon. Can he get it? No. Jesus. Dragoons get so much damage done. Yakov, he has to pull away. Does pull back. Flame Strike is available. Maybe yet to see the Flame Strike. And zoning the army away. Third base is going to be forfeit. And Kurian is going to be stuck on 2 bases here. We have yet to see a Maelstrom. He can try to stun this army. Can try to. Yeah, Reaver's moving in. Oof. Yeah, Reaver shot goes off. The King gets locked down. Yeah, there's the Maelstrom. Does shut down the King. Nice pick off me. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Flame Strike popping off. It does run the army away. Takes down the cannons. I mean, the splash damage does persist. And likewise moving in. Nice trades here from Yakov. Takes down the expansion. So Yakov is trying to rebuild the Mountain King. Trying to. Likewise, the Riflemen, they do start a step forward. You gotta respect it. Respect with the man with gun. They're crazy. 2 of them get caught out. And Kurian holds. Kurian, he does hold on. It was a very shaky hold is what I will say. He lost a lot of Reavers, a lot of Dragoons, lost the expansion of course. Trying to rebuild here towards the south side. And Yakov, he will get the hell out of there. Does pull away. Does pull away. Mountain King getting revived. Yo, the Reaver drop coming into play. Scrap shots already. Gets one off. Oh, gets one. Oh, gets on the second job as well. Yeah, massive connection. Yakov does deal with it, does pull away. Town Hall may survive. Just need a little bit more time for that Mountain King. MK. There we go, has arrived. Moving in. Can the hero be mind controlled? I don't think so. I would imagine it would be immune to that sort of thing. But I'm uncertain. Uncertain. Meanwhile, that is going to be a kill. Town Hall goes down. You can see the Stormbolt is lined up. He wants that stun. Can he get it? Up. Up. He wants it. God, the Dragoons are just racing back. You can see he's lining up that axe. Oh, there it is. Gets it. Yeah, takes down one. One Archon goes down. There's 2 Archons left. He's coming in with another bolt. He's winding it up. He wants the Archon. As he falls back to the cannons. So far, nice thunderclap. Ooh, Maelstrom goes off. Stuns the army for a moment. Does stun the army. Has to respect it, has to back off. It does pull away. There we go, Thunderbolt here on another one of those Archons, down to 2. Another Reaver! Oh my god. Reaver goes down, a nice stun here on the King. Gets one more Archon, and the King does recall. Whew. Recalls back home in time, takes out every single Archon. No, no! We didn't need to do that. Yakov. For those that are curious, the Scroll of Town Portal, the Scroll of Town Portal is an AoE. It's an AoE around the hero. So the Riflemen, they were too close to the King, and everything got recalled. He could have kept going, 100%. So he saved the King, but he also saved Kurian. Did save him. Yakov, I should say, the rest of the army like, no, not yet. No, we're fine. Save the King, but at what cost? And now we're going for a pseudo base trade. We have the Dragoons moving towards the left, and we have the main human army on the right. Does move out. Base is gonna fall, and a base trade may just be the only way here for Kyrian to commit to said base trade. As the third base goes down. Did he rebuy a scroll? He did not. Ooh, so he didn't rebuy a scroll of Town Portal, so he doesn't have a recall. There are Archons and regular Dark Archons as well. Reaver goes down. No detection. Uh-oh. Yeah, DTs to defend. This time there's no Griffin Riders here. Or Mechanical Riders, I should say. And DTs, they will defend. Four is being pulled away. And Yakov has to get the hell out of here. DT's just getting free damage. Black goes Flame Strike here on the Dark Templar. There we go. Detection has arrived. For those who are curious, these flying machines, they are detectors. So they come in, DTs go down, now we can turn and fight. A little bit misplaced there, Flame Strike. Okay, gets cancelled. they came from behind. Oh no. Yeah, there's a clap. We're down to one Archon, one Dark Archon as well. They're being targeted down. Nice Maelstrom. Stuns the Rifleman for a very long time. But GG gets called. There's just too much here, and YoungYakov, he will overwhelm. He'll break through, and YoungYakov will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. A very intense back and forth here, and very unique army compositions as well. It was interesting to see a unique composition of Dragoon Dark Archon. I say that just because in StarCraft Evolution, Dark Archons are a little bit more rare. We specifically see them against Muta. Like if a Zerg player goes into like 2 or 3 base Muta play and goes mass Muta, then Dark Archons are ideal because they can stun the Mutas. As you saw, they have a stun ability, they have Maelstrom. And they were stunning the Riflemen time and time again, or at least they were trying to. That's why they were being targeted down. They're spellcasters. And yeah, we don't really see them too often in StarCraft Evolution, so it was really fun to see them here. They had their place in the army. I will say that the Reavers were a little bit lackluster just because they were often just focused down. We had a very nice moment from YoungYakov catching the first shuttle. It was crazy to see that happen, and crazy to see the shuttle stunned when it did. And I mean, it shows just kind of like the strength of the Mountain King early on, not just with AoE splash damage, but with that Stormbolt, right? With that single target stun, which is huge, and which was huge in the early game. And with that, GG, well played. We're now getting into game 2. We'll see if YoungYakov can close this out, or if Kyrian can bring this back and force the ace match. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom, in the top left hand corner of Whistles of Gold, we have the Brood War Zerg player, the Blue Zerg. It is YoungYakov. Oh, and for the first time here, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, I say for the first time, for the second time tonight, but a rare sight nonetheless, we do have the green orc player from South Korea. It is Kyrian. Let's go. Let's go. So we have orc versus a Brood War Zerg. Interesting that YoungYakov is holding onto his SC2 Zerg. He is holding onto it. And again, YoungYakov just feels really well versed when it comes to all 3 races, or all 3 kind of like matchups. SC2, of course, he spends a lot of time playing SC Evo, so he's very well versed in Brood War. And when it comes to his Warcraft 3 plays, it's also quite impressive every time. Every time I see him. Here we go. Here we go. So we are going to be settling and we're calming things down. Oh. settling in, and so far we are going to be just embracing here our next matchup. So far, a lull period here in the game. We do open up Hatch Gas Spool, standard opener out of YoungYakov. Meanwhile, across the map, we do have our opener from Kurian going for his own Farseer once again. We did see this opener out of Rotterdam, if you recall, going for the Farseer. Likewise, Kurian doing the same. Does do the same. So far, Kurian moves out. Actually going to be rushing across the map. Okay, let's go. Does rush across. Likewise, we can see YoungYakov trying to set up here with side defense, but is it going to be too late? No shot. Does this end early enough? We have no links to defend. We can see YoungYakov going 2-base Hydra, 2-base Lair. Has he been too greedy? No. Has he been too greedy, Pappy? Kurian, he does bust in. I'm going for the side defense. So far, the Spine Callers, they do finish up. Kurian, he ignores them, going straight up the ramp. Into the main. Into the main base. And denies mining time. Again, there is nothing to defend. There's a handful of Lings. But so far, Kurian, he has control of the ramp. Just rushing in. Does rush in. Likewise, again, we're attempting to get into Hydra production. Get in. As mining is being denied, Lings are trying to mass up. Alas, I'm not sure if these Lings can really get much done. Not like this, Pappy, not like this. They do poke in. Lings, they attempt to surround. They attempt to surround. Again, the Farseer tanking a lot of shots here. The Spirit's going to be able to just reduce surface area. And the Lings, they all go down. Lings, they're going to be cleaned up completely here. It is close, though. The Farseer gets low. He gets low. The colony is done. Ooh, he does level up. Does barely level. Boys are being pulled. The Farseer, he wants it. He wants the kill. Can he get it? The boys. Down to 24 HP. 24. He survives. Once again, takes down the mineral line. Lings, they attempt to dive in. And there's the recall. Does teleport back home. Whew, and gets out of there. Okay, as the dust settles, of course, we have one base play out of our Orc player. Meanwhile, YoungYakov, he is stuck on a one base economy as well. He did lose a lot of drones in the process. His goal here was to rush into 2-base Lair. But alas, he's still getting there, still building up. Does go for a massive Ling counter attack. Oh, moving out. Does move out. Kurian, he's holding. Hold on, just setting up. Lings, they do move in. Once again, they bypass the main army. Yo, let's go. We did just buy a Tauren. Well, the second hero has arrived. Let's go. What's his name? Karen Bloodhoof. Oh my god. What's he have? He's got Shockwave. He shocks the waves. Again, I've never seen these heroes before because we never see Orc play. We never see it. I'm excited. I'm ready. Oh my god. Meanwhile, back at home, we do see once again we're trying to rush into Lurker Tech. You can see a second, the lair is done, of course. Second Hydrogen on the way, taking up into Lurkers. Is teching. Meanwhile, we do have the random Wind Rider here. raining down from above. Dusk got everything, by the way. Hydras are on the way. Meanwhile, Karen moves in. He does rush past the site defense, stumbling into the middle. Oh no, he can one-shot. He can one-shot the drones. He's crazy. Someone stop this man. Oh my god. Yeah, takes down the mineral line. He's cracked, Papi. Recalls back home. He's crazy. And with that, the economy is going to be stifled here. We are still trying to rush into two-base lurkers, but lurker upgrade is just now on the way. Oh, sorry, lurker upgrade is done. Lurkers now being produced. Back at home, we do have a troll headhunter set up. Again, I haven't seen this before. Getting into headhunters, building up his range-based army, building up more Wind Riders as well. Speaking of Wind Riders, they do attempt to harass. Could be zoned away by the Hydras. Alright, gonna be zoned away. Here we go. Oh. Sorry, I'm just setting things up. But does move out. Meanwhile, we do have drop play coming in. As Wind Riders, they harass the natural. Likewise, towards the main. What drop is this? Oh, he's oh, let's go! He's going for the Karen drop. I don't know what the hero unit is called, but in my mind, the Karen drop is coming in. He's gonna shockwave the mineral line once again. Let's go! Yeah, has to pull the boys away. Oh my god! Takes down half the mineral line. Picks up and gets the hell out of here. Yo, you thought Reaver drops were crazy? Nah, mate, nah. Let's go. The hero drops. Back at him, there was a 10-thing run by. Blade Master, Shadow Hunter. Does anyone know what it's called in the chat? Tauren Chieftain. There you go, there you go. Yeah, Tauren Chieftain. Yo, the Chieftain drop. The Chief. It's crazy. Likewise, Wind Rider is still harassing her in the mineral line. Going to be shut down by the spores, by the Hydras as well. As Kurian does expand, does take his natural. Still creeping. Drop comes back in. Does come back in. Ooh, taking a lot of hits by the lurkers. Yeah, it looks like the Zeppelin did fall. No, sorry, still on the left-hand side. He misses. Does miss, does recall. Whew, just in time. He's crazy. And we can just keep going. We just keep doing this over and over again. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Let's go. There we go. Sorry, just setting up. Yeah, so far it does pull away. When it comes to the Zeppelin is still across the map, so no drop play potential yet. As we do see YoungYakov expanding, taking his third base, building up his lurker tech. Even though he's lost a lot of drones so far, his economy here is still looking quite solid. He's on 2 bases, he's been able to re-drone, resaturate, has built up a decent lurker count, and now we can focus on our game. Do apologize, I was responding to some messages, but it's all good. Did respond. Good to go. Now focus on our match ahead of us. Likewise, lurkers, they will zone away. At the same time, due to that, I see another drop into the main. Let's go! The Chieftain. He's going in. Ooh, meanwhile, Kurian does overextend. Taking a lot of shots here from those lurkers. Has to pull away. It takes down one more lurker. Get a shot to the sentry ward, giving detection. He does hold his own. Does hold his own, catching another one of those lurkers. Meanwhile, drop into the main base. He be dropping. I mean, there's a wall of spores. I don't know if he can break past. Meanwhile, very nice target firing here on said lurkers. Getting one, getting two. Drop comes in. Show us what you got. Show us the shockwave. Up. Gets in. Oh my god. Yeah, and GG gets caught. YoungYakov gets pulled apart here. The lurkers, they go down to the right hand side. The boys go down on the left. And Kurian, he does tie the series up 1-1. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. Let's go. GG, well played. We are going to game 3. Again, a very intense back and forth here. And again, a dynamic that I've never seen before. Specifically, the Chieftain, or in general, just Orc play in this mod is something that I'm only seeing for the first time, despite us casting a couple of these events. Orc has not been played too often, but a very fun style here, very chaotic by Kurian, just rushing past the side defense, diving into mineral lines, and wreaking havoc. And also being very attentive to his units as well. Bearing in mind, I don't think the Chieftain died at any point in this game. Time and time again, he always had that town portal. He always had that recall. Always did maintain that recall. Let's go. As spawning in the right hand corner of Frostline, we have our Brood War Zerg player. We have our Brood War Zerg himself being forced into a tied series, by the way. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss, the SE2 Protoss. It is Kurian. Here we go. So we have Brood War Zerg up against SE2 Protoss. Here we go as we dive in. Yo, a big shout to Turbo Quacker in the chat. God, baby God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the gifted sub to the community. To Finton. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Do appreciate the support as always, as we are still in the semifinals of our tournament. But thank you so much for the support. I hope you appreciate the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you. Thank you so much as we are opening up with a proxy across the map. So here we go. We're going to be proxy 2, I would imagine, up to a 3rd gateway. So far, proxy 2 gates out of Kurian. Meanwhile, YoungYakov going hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of YoungYakov. Kurian setting up here with his initial gateways. Catching with the chat. Looks like an experienced Warcraft 3 player. He looks at least experienced either in Warcraft 3 or with the mod, right? Like one or the other. But that was very fun. Very fun. His unit conservation was on par with some folks that actually play Warcraft 3, for sure. Meanwhile, there's that 3rd gateway. Overlord does scout immediately. YoungYakov is fully aware of what's going on. He does scout the proxy. Again, he sent his 2nd Overlord here to scout to confirm the 1st Overlord is across the map. YoungYakov is aware. Setting up the main. Again, standard opener. And as a Brood War Zerg player, we should be responding with site defense, with sunken colonies. Once the spawning pool is done, we got a macro hatch in the main base as well. Meanwhile, it's going to be a proxy 3-gate mass zealots with cannons to support. Forge is on the way. Remember, there is no gases, no follow-up, just zealots and cannons. As the first zealot has arrived. The cannons may be used defensively instead. It looks like we might be looking to expand. Interesting. Lings are amassing. Zealot poking in. You can see the site defense in the main base, in the mineral line. Meanwhile, Zealot's just focusing on the natural. Another colony on the way. Yakov playing it safe, playing it slow. First colony gets surrounded. Yakov, he does break left. It goes to the reinforcements. Looking for the surround, does get it. Nice pickup. Surrounds 1 zealot. And up. Oh my god, doesn't quite get the other. But now, pulls away. Does pull away, buying more time. Massing up more lings. These 4 zealots are isolated. And ling speed is almost done. Ling speed is finishing up in a couple of seconds. Oh, He's about to finish. Hatchery taking a lot of hits. Link speed does complete, and he will get us around. Takes down one of those elves, gets one, gets two. And tries to get all three, all four even. Nice positioning. Yeah, very nice positional play. Regardless, Zelts are cleaned up. And the remaining three also will be surrounded. Yeah, we had some nice movement, nice positional play there from our Protoss, but alas, it's just not going to be enough. GG gets called. He'll lose every single Zell. There's no expansion back at home. There is no setup, and YoungYakov will survive the cheese. Will take the series 3-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations and congratulations to YoungYakov as it does claim the series does advance on. Again, Kyrian, he did have a strong showing himself, a very intense back and forth every game, even here in the ace match. Of course, it was a very delicate micro between the two players. Game 2 was crazy with the one-base play, with the rush with the Tauren Chieftain, of course, even with the initial Farseer rush, and even game 1 we had a very intense back and forth as well. GG. GG, well played. With that, YoungYakov, he'll advance on to the grand finals, where he has his next opponent waiting for him. As a reminder, Homono, he did make his way, he did cheese his way into the finals earlier, and it is going to be a ZVT between Homono and YoungYakov. Let's go. Quote-unquote ZVT. And what I'm excited by here is potentially featuring Homono playing Warcraft 3, which we haven't seen yet. We have not seen that dynamic. We don't yet know what he's made of. I wasn't paying attention to the stream title and it threw me off seeing Warcraft 3 versus SC2 armies. Fair enough, fair enough. Yes, this is Warcraft 3 Evolution. True. It's a little bit different. But here we go. We're jumping into our fresh best of 5 here. As a reminder, this is going to be a best of 5, and game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. I love this. Love keeping the game interesting. Yeah, it's just, it's very fun. That's what I would say. Very fun, very entertaining. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the Blue Zerg player. We have the SC2 Zerg. It is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top right-hand corner for the first time this broadcast, we have the South Korean player here, the Red Human player, rocking the Warcraft 3 race for the first time, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Homono. The most honorable of honorables. Let's go. Let us go. And again, I don't know if Homono has any experience with this mod. I've never seen him play this mod before. Again, he wasn't present when it came to the previous KungFu Cups, when it comes to the previous Warcraft 3 edition KungFu Cups. So we'll see what he has to offer. We'll see if he has been practicing, if he is familiar, and how he does approach this. For now, going for his initial Altar of Kings. I did mention before that it's very common to open up Archmage, or potentially against Zerg players, we've seen a lot of Mountain King openers. But there we go, it is going to be the Archmage instead. Meanwhile, Yakov going for a hatch pool opener back at home. Interesting setup. Going for the Eric. Going for the Eric opener here. Okay, hatch pool into hatchery on location, despite the fact that there was no block, by the way. There was no block on the low ground, but Yakov, clearly he is an Eric enjoyer. I appreciate it. Opening up gasless for now. Does go for delayed gases. Likewise, hatchery's done. Yakov setting up here with his initial sunken colonies. Oh, sorry. I'm just so used to seeing him play Brood War. Spine Crawlers, I should say. Completely walling up. It does fully wall up. I mean, now we see why he went for the hatchery here on the right-hand side. It is to create this wall and to survive against early footman rushes, which is not uncommon, by the way. It is not uncommon to build up your first set of footmen and to ignore the creep, to just zoom across the map and bust into the bases. So this is a very specifically a versus Warcraft 3 build. As you want that SimCity, you want that wall, you want to be safe against the early aggression. Meanwhile, Homono, he's not rushing across the map, he is creeping. But again, if he had zoomed across the map, then YoungYakov would be in trouble. That's why he has this setup. So it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's all coming together. As YoungYakov from here, he's droning, settling in. Do you see Homono now move out? He has yet to really invest into his first ability. He's yet to invest. Typically, we do see the Frost Minion or the Water Elemental just so the Elemental can tank shots and you can preserve HP on these units. So Homono, in a sense, being a little bit careless here, or spending his resources elsewhere in a different way. As he does move out. Likewise, for the first time, he does see the wall. Yeah, the spine coolers are up. He does notice, does pull away. So here he pulls back, expanding back at home, taking his natural. Still has yet to invest into any of his upgrades. Doesn't pick it. Does he know that there are? Does he know that there are items that you can pick up? Papi, we got a ring of protection. +5. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. This might be his first time playing Warcraft 3 Evolution. Like, sorry, I should say the Warcraft 3 races in this mod. Now, does he realize that he can get abilities? Ah, no. And now still creeping. Meanwhile, from the side of our Zerg player, going into 2-base lair. Takes his gases, going into his lair. Double Evo Chamber. Roach Horn is going to be on the way. Getting into Roach Play. Now, we did see Roach Play be quite successful previously in the tournament for YoungYakov. In his previous match in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, he's going to be setting up. Okay, not bad. Does get his items, does get a portion of healing as well, so bear that in mind. Does have a little bit of sustain with said army. Building up in 2 bases. Likewise, back at home, just going for roach production here is YoungYakov, going into Burrow, eventually into Tunneling Claw of Roaches, into Mass Roach on 3 bases. Really, I'm looking to see how Homeowners approach this. Now it looks like he's switching to Rifleman. He does have the Blacksmith, so Riflemen are building up. A bit of a slower start here from Honmono. And this may just be a slower game in general, just as YoungYakov is slowly expanding, embracing this, getting to his 3rd base. I don't really see YoungYakov pushing out anytime soon, not without 3-base saturation, but we'll see. Does have a 1-1 timing available to him that he might just want to go for. Otherwise, we can just get into a longer game instead. As the game is slowing down, 2 more ranks is on the way here as well. Getting to Mass Man with Gun. This is the precursor to the Marine. True. Getting to Mass Rifleman. Hopefully working towards those upgrades. Likewise, Mass Roach still building up here for YoungYakov. 3rd base is almost done. And again, he should just be droning. Should just be saturating his 3rd base, building up. Should be the direction that YoungYakov does head in. Yo, we goes for the contamination. Let's go. Delays Rifleman production. True. You can contaminate buildings, I suppose. Oh no, it's the plague. Burn it. Burn it all. Ah, no. Someone is building up. Again, he's still just trying to saturate, still kind of getting his footing, it feels. So the reason why it does feel a little bit more and more like Homeowner, he's not too familiar with this, is because what he should be doing here is creeping. Like, he should be hunting down these berserkers, should be building up an army to take down these satyrs as well. Like, there are things to do here when it comes to your Warcraft army, and you need to be, because right now his main hero is at level 2. Like, right now he's underleveled. He's focusing, like, he's playing this like SE2 where he's like focusing on building up an army, and, you know, he's throwing down more Raxes. But what he should be doing, as you can already see, he's at low upkeep. Like, this is as big as an army usually gets in Warcraft 3. Like, he's already at low upkeep, so already he's getting like reduced resources, and he needs to level up his hero, and that just isn't happening. There's so many creeps here. Like, there's so many creeps available to him here on the right hand side, and without killing them, he's just not scaling well into a longer game. Again, part of the strength, like, this part of the balance of this game is how your hero levels up and gains strength over time and over the course of the game itself. That just isn't happening for Homeowner, and he's falling behind. Homeowner, he's falling behind. Roach is going to be moving in, and this hero is just going to be so weak in comparison to what it should be. Right now, he's getting a second hero, getting to his own Mountain King, but it's going to be at level 1. Again, he's still at level 2 with his main hero. So this does kind of show a bit of a what looks to be a bit of a limited understanding of how the Warcraft 3 race works. And there we go. Yeah, the hero just goes down instantly. Does fall, and with that, YoungYakov, he will overwhelm. He can just keep going, to be honest. Like, if he wants to, he can just keep on going. He can go straight for the natural, straight up the ramp as well. He doesn't have to play this safe. YoungYakov, he backs off for the time being, getting another base, getting another expansion. And Homeowner is turtling up. He's just turtling up back at home. Now, what I will say is that it is impressive that Homeowner got this far without playing Warcraft 3. Like, I'm pretty sure Homeowner, he relied upon his Brood War and SE2 to make it to the finals, which is impressive. But again, this is still, you still have to rely on this on Warcraft 3 races to make it here in this tournament. Oh, going for the Neural! Going for the mass Neural. Roaches, they do borrow under the army, coming in for the surround. Yeah, we get the mass on borrow. Yeah, Fungal as well, just locking everything down. And YoungYakov, he will overwhelm. Catching out the Rifleman. Making sure that there's no micro out of this, there's no stutter stepping. Heroes have been rebuilt. But there's no support. There's no support, the Roaches will overwhelm. And with that, YoungYakov, he will claim the first game and take a lead in the series. He will take a lead. GG, well played, YoungYakov. He takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. And again, we'll see if Homeowner is able to get a better handle on things coming into the rest of this series. Again, I do favor Homeowner when it comes to, I say favor, Homeowner, he has really strong Brood War and really strong SE2. Warcraft 3 is going to be his weakest link coming into this series, bearing in mind that this mod does force you to play these races in certain ways. What I mean by, sorry, it does force you to play out the series in a certain way. Specifically, this is a Conquerors format. What does that mean? Well, YoungYakov, he just won a game with SE2 Zerg. What does that mean? That means he can no longer play SE2 Zerg in the rest of the series. So he has to now rely, so now SE2 Zerg is kind of like crossed off, and now he only has a Brood War and Warcraft 3 remaining. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold. We do have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Team Hyper 1, looking a little more comfortable here as the SE2 Terran player. It is Homeowner. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Undead. Let's go. We have the Undead player himself, the Red Undead. It is YoungYakov. Again, YoungYakov, he just won a game as SE2, so now he has to win with Warcraft 3 and Brood War. So here we go, he does open up with his Undead race. And we haven't seen him go for these Acolyte rushes before. True, he has gone for that in the past. We'll see if he goes for that here. Just catch him in chat. It is similar to what is done on, is that tabletop Warhammer competitive? I'm sorry, Total War. That's it. Sorry. I didn't know there was a Total War esports or competitive scene. Interesting. But there you go. It's also, I guess, a little bit similar to AoE, right? To Age of Empires, where I believe in AoE, when you win with a race, with a civ, I guess that's better terminology. When you win with a civ, you can't play it anymore, and you have to play with a different civ. Or like you play a different civ like in each game, like Englishman, and then like I don't know, Chinese, French. Not exactly useless. They have their own tournaments every year. And people are competitive. Oh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, I remember having a discussion about this on the podcast before, about how interesting it would be if we had that kind of system, right? Where to win a best of 3, you have to win a game as Terran and then Zerg and then Protoss, right? Like that's crazy. But I guess AoE is a little bit different because in AoE, not saying that the races are too similar to each other, but there are more similarities between the civs in AoE than there are between the races in SE2. But regardless, here we go. Regardless, we are going to be opening it once again with the Lich, so we do have a Lich opener here out of YoungYakov. Once again, is one of the more common openers. Meanwhile, Double Gas here by Homeowner, going for a faster factory. Ooh, going for a 1-1-1, one base all in. Homeowner, he's building up, he's massing up early on here on one base. Setting up a safety bunker. And Yakov, he will soon move out for a scout. He is yet to do so. The Lich has arrived. Curious if he plans to go for another Acolyte Rush. Now, if he blindly opens up Acolyte Rush, I'll be honest, Homeowner, he's more than ready. Like, he is, again, playing one base play. He's on one base. He's already got a bunker, Marines. Meanwhile, yep, we do move out. Okay, we're just creeping. Okay, we're just gonna be creeping here. We're not rushing across the map. A couple of boys are pulled. Yeah, skeletons are here to soak some damage. Getting up those initial nulls. And back at home, it is going to be a one base all in. So it's going to be early tank and banshee production. So this isn't a hyper safe play, it is a hyper aggressive play. So one base all in out of Horde Mono. Now what is scary here is that YoungYakov has not scouted. He does not know what's going on. He doesn't know if there's an expansion and what exactly Horde Mono is up to. So that's the biggest concern here for YoungYakov. Does now move out across the map. Does move out, and he will soon confirm lack of expansion, and if he pokes up the ramp, he will confirm the tank. And pokes up the ramp, does get eyes on the tank. He's going for the Frost Nova. Tank taking a lot of hits, the boys are pulled to repair, and with that YoungYakov, we should be able to hold on. Oh, Frost Nova here on the workers. Oh my god, SCVs are getting low. Likewise, so is the Lich. Oh my god, barely does bring down the tank. Tank goes down. Boys moving in. And we do fully heal up. We do repair. Homeowner does hold. Now, the scariest thing that just happened here, no scout. Barely the Starport and the Banshees were out of vision. Banshees were out of vision. Starport was out of vision. Right now, there is no detection for YoungYakov. And here come the Cloak Banshees, and they may just end the game. They may just end the game. As Banshees move out. Yakov trying to race back, getting caught out. There you go, Homeowner making his way towards that main. Oh god, running into creeps on the way back home. Banshees, they do arrive. Worker's gonna be going down. Losing Acolytes. Losing Ghouls. And I don't think it's an answer, I'll be honest. I think that might just be game. I may be unfamiliar with detectors for undead, but I don't think there are any right now. I mean, there is the Frost Nova, true, you can try to Frost Nova this. But the Lich, because of the earlier damage, the Lich is almost dead. Yeah, he's gonna go down. You see Lich trying to race back. Does activate his scroll of speed. Gets a Frost Nova. Gets one. Gets one. Only one. Oh my god, does recall. Whew, does recall in time. Clutch save there from Yakov, but now there's a second Banshee. And again, all he has is that Frost Nova. Yeah, Lich is going to be targeted. It does go down. Massive pickoff, and that might just be game. The Banshee Rush. Back at home, Homeowner, he expands, takes his natural. Again, detection can be that much more annoying to get into here. See Warcraft 3. Spirit Tower does zone. Does zone away. We have 2 port Banshee on the way. We have Hyperflight Rotors in production as well. Getting into Banshee speed. Oh god. Yo, the creeps are helping. Okay, the Lich was rebuilt. The Lich is back. He's got Dust of Appearance. Yeah. He did just buy an item. Dust of Appearance. He does get basically Revelation on this. Revelation on the Banshees. And he gets one of the Banshees. Really? One? How many charges does he have? Cooldown 14, 2 charges. Okay. So he's got 2 more charges on the Dust of Appearance. So he's relying on items. Behind this, Death Knight is on the way. Meanwhile, Homeowner, he's happily mining on 2 bases, going Mass Banshee. So he's still going Mass Banshee. Into mech. Second factory is on the way. Eventually into a more mech heavy composition. Here we go. Banshees are moving out. 5 in total. See Yakov setting up. Once again, the Draenei, they're helping out. Oh no! They were helping you. Meanwhile, we do have a Death Coil here with the Death Knight. Likewise, Mass Banshee into the main. Lich does respond. We'll zone away. And Lich does zone. But alas, with Hyperflight Rotors, the Banshees, they just ignore the hero. They head to the natural, catching out more acolytes. Oh, does miss the Dust of Appearance. Does miss the scan, and he's down to 1 charge. He has 1. Oh, sorry, 2. Okay. Still got 2 charges. Did he just buy more? It's possible. Still got 2 charges. We gotta be careful, man. We gotta be careful with our dust. Preserve the dust. Meanwhile, it's just gonna be Mass Tank Banshee. So Mass Tank Banshee. More tanks, more Banshees. Also building up for Homeowner. Likewise, I do see Yakov. I mean, he's still on a 2-base economy. He doesn't have a base here at the natural, but he's been mining from the gold mines regardless. And minerals, I should say gold, is more valuable than lumber here. You can see he's only got 2 workers. Shade is out. Shade is a detector. I believe you need the sacrificial pit for that, right? Am I crazy? Ah, there it is. Yeah. Sacrificial pit does make detectors. So we got some shades. Shades are almost like observers, I guess. Like they don't have an attack, but they can, they can reveal. The shades are out. And Yakov is stabilizing. I'll be honest, I thought it was going to die earlier. Things were looking dire earlier when we had the Banshees sniping the Lich. Things were not looking good. But Yakov, he is stabilizing. Mass Banshee into the main. Dives into the main base. Heads into the mineral line. Oh, Frost Nova does connect. Oh yeah, nice catch. Likewise, webs down some of the Banshees. 2, 3 Banshees going down. Very nice done. Very nice catch there from YoungYakov. Bearing in mind, these Crypt Fiends, they can web. They can web units to the ground. It's almost like these Crypt Fiends are like they're like the anti-Phoenix, where Phoenixes they lift. Meanwhile, the Crypt Fiends they pin them down to the ground instead. They web them up. Meanwhile, we have a massive tank army that has amassed. Yakov, he commits in. Yeah, Lich goes down real fast and real quick. Frost Nova on the tanks, but so many tank shots going to be going off. There are just so many tanks, too many tanks. And Yakov, he will lose everything, just running into a tank line. He will lose his army, lose both heroes, and all the Crypt Fiends. And this also shows just how far ahead Homeowner was when it comes to his own economic game state. He's now getting a third base, he has mass tank building up, and Yakov, he's in trouble. He is hurting. He was not expecting that. And now Homeowner is coming in for the kill. He's moving in for the kill. Does push. Likewise, what do we have to work with? We have 7 Banshees, 11 tanks. Ay, ay, ay. As tanks are sieging. They're slowly encroaching upon the natural. KungFu was trying to stabilize. He's rebuilding his heroes. But that's a lot of tanks, Pappy. That's a lot of tanks. Yo, we got gargoyles on the way. You see Death Knight across the map trying to harass. Yo, we have so many turrets that have just randomly been set up. Okay. Death Knight trying to find some damage. Runs into a planetary of all things, is going to go down. Likewise, Frost Nova on the first line of tanks. But there's just a second and a third line behind this. There's so many tanks. Frost Nova lands, but there's no support. There's no support, it's just a singular Lich. Gargoyles move in. There's zero anti-air. Nothing shoots up the gargoyles. They got this. They're fine, Pappy, they're fine. Got the Frost Nova, takes down all the Banshees, not bad. Yeah, Lich pops up. Takes down the final Banshee. Another Frost Nova, mate, YoungYakov, he's shutting this down. He's holding. I didn't think he could, but with 3 units, let's go. The Lich is cracked. Uh-oh, bit of a misrally there. Bit of a misrally. Does take down the tanks. YoungYakov, he holds on. Let's go. He's tenacious. Doesn't give up. He's still in this. He's still got this, Pappy. We're good. We're good. Behind this, Homeowner, he has to rebuild. Now, what I will say is that Homeowner, his economy... Okay, there we go. He's now on 3 base saturation. He's oversaturated in his main. So really, he's on a 2 base economy at the moment. Undersaturated at the natural, actually. So the economy is still a little bit lackluster, a little bit shaky for Homeowner. Meanwhile, he's going to be switching into a more robust army composition. Not just Tank Banshee, but now into Cyclone production as well. Into a more well-rounded mech army. So tanks, cyclones, Hellions, still a couple of Banshees. Yakov breaks out. What if Happy could save this game? Yo, who? Kappa. We're here for YoungYakov, Pappy. I wonder if Happy would be interested. I don't think he would be interested in playing Warcraft 3 Evolution, right? Like, considering his thoughts on StarCraft, I doubt he'd get involved. But now, does break through. Yo, we got the Dreadlord. We got the trio. Likewise, Homeowner setting up here at his 4th. Standing at his army. Homeowner is maxing out. Oof. He's maxing out with his mech army. And I'll be honest, I'm not so certain that Yakov can get much done breaking these siege lines. All Homeowner has to do is just fully max out, fully turtle up. Yakov, he does dive in, going for the tanks. Oh, Gargoyles, they're going to be fully here to the turrets. Takes down, what, 1, 2 tanks. Cyclones are coming from behind. Cyclones, they are going to be cleaned up, though. We get the revelation here on those Banshees. And Yakov, he can fight this here out of range of the tanks, but pushing into that tank line, that's a different story. There we go, another revelation. Cleans up most of the army. Another Dreadlord, get out of here. Oh my god. Clutch Death Coil, but alas, yeah, both heroes will fall. Once again, down to just the one Lich. Just the one Lich left over. Yeah, it does fall as well. Losing everything, losing the entire army, all 3 heroes. They are revived here at the tavern. They are revived. Yo, Yakov, he knows. Playing a lot of Warcraft 3. Can Ghost snipe undead? I would imagine so. I wouldn't see a reason as to why they wouldn't be able to. Banshees, they poke in once again. Poke in. Yakov back at home, holding, trying to build back up. But again, because of all these losses, Yakov, his army is non-existent. Heroes are strong, but they're not that good. Not like this. Meanwhile, Homeowner back at home, all he's doing is turtling. Just turtling up, maxing out here with his mech. That is, Homeowner's win condition is to max out, then counterattack. Like, he's more than happy to just sit here for 45 minutes. We've seen that before. We've seen hour-long games with Homeowner. Nice Frost Nova. Meanwhile, Yakov getting his 3rd base up and running. Getting his 3rd. I'll be honest, when it comes to trying to break this kind of siege line, I don't know what the best answer is from the side of our undead player. As he is struggling here against the creep camps, has to pull away. Taking a lot of damage. Taking a lot of damage here. But will barely clean this up. Scan Homeowner, he sees, he's like, hold up, you're almost dead. Hold up. I'm on my way. Helps out the ogres, diving on the heroes, forces a recall. Yeah, the units are close enough. They do recall back home. They teleport to safety. The base is going to go down. And Yakov, I want to say he's coping a little bit here, just because his ability to get on top of those tanks, it's not going to be possible without any kind of buffer here for his army. Yeah, he just ignores it. Yeah, he avoids the tanks. Makes the most sense. Going for a counterattack. Diving on the main army. Massive Frost Nova. Oh my god. Jesus. And Nova was solid, but they only hit half the army. There we go. Second Nova pops off, takes out almost every single tank, but there's a second line of tanks behind this. Very impressive fight. Jesus. that was insane. Oh my god. want to say killed like 8 tanks there. Okay. I want to believe. Oh, he does have mana though. Okay, so one more. There we go. Again, so one Nova does like half HP to the tanks. So if they're stacking, I mean, the value is insane. No, can the Lich carry? Spirit Torch. I believe that regenerates mana, right? Crazy. Now moving in. Moving in once again, though. Would you see once Homeowner? Well, after that fight, he's like, "Okay, I'm never moving out again. That's not happening." He's gonna back off. He's gonna go back to turtling. He's like, "This is why I don't move out and attack. This is why I only turtle. Otherwise, you lose your army." True. Not wrong. You can see YoungYakov trying to find another way in, but again, there's planetaries, turrets. Now, there are no tanks in this position, so this base is actually quite vulnerable. I'm not so certain how quickly a planetary can be targeted down, though, with this kind of army. It's now building up. We're taking the base on the right-hand side. Homeowner, he will attempt to move out. Homeowner still building up back at home. Taking a quote-unquote ninja base, trying to take expansions. Running into creep, unfortunately. Creep that has yet to be cleaned up. And just like previously, the hope for YoungYakov is to wait for Homeowner to push. Which the problem here is that, again, Homeowner has no incentive. Like, he has no incentive to move out. He is happy to max and to just like plant his flag and just chill. Like, park his chair and just sit back. And Yakov's still trying to expand. He's yet to do so. Pushing towards the left. Again, this position is the most weakest just because there are no tanks. So we can try to break the planetary. Meanwhile, Homeowner, he does respond, does rotate, trying to come in for a surround. Or does he go for the base trade? He's going for the base trade. Let's go. They are going to be trading. YoungYakov, he will miss this. Turns back around. Homeowner, he cannot be caught on siege. He's got to be careful. And tanks, they push forward. Homeowner making his way into that natural. Coming in from behind, but the tanks, they're all pre-sieged. And he cannot push into this. Not like this. Homeowner, once again, he's set up. Unsieges half his tanks, moving on forward. The Shade does spot this, and here we go. He goes for the dive, gets one Frost Nova off. A decent Nova. Can he break through this, though? There's just so many tanks. And the first line does fall. Gets the first line of tanks with the other line. Oh my god, massive Nova! Can he do it? Oh my god, he's so close. Friendly fire. Breaks through most of the tanks. Oh my god. Does cost him a lot. And there we go, there's one tank left. One tank barely remaining. And YoungYakov, it cost him everything. It was an impressive fight. One tank survived. GG gets called. Homeowner, he will take the game. He will tie the series. And we have a back and forth. GG. GG, well played. Homeowner, he does take the second game. We are now tied up 1-1. Whew, and I'm sure YoungYakov is happy to now know that Homeowner can no longer play SE2. SE2, he now gets his first win with that race, with that mode, which means he now has to rely on his Brood War and his Warcraft 3 instead. Let's go. GG. GG, well played. That leads us here into game number 3. We're going to be loading into Abyssal Reef. And we'll see what races our players pick this time. Oh, hello. Okay. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, once again we have our South Korean Zerg player, the blue human. Sorry, South Korean human player, the blue human player, representing Team Hyper 1. It is Hon Mono. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Brood War Zerg player, the red Zerg, being forced into a tied series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. So we have a Brood War Zerg up against Warcraft 3 human. And again, we did see, I mean, unfortunately, there's just very little time here to kind of learn and adapt. But in the previous time, game one, we saw Homono with the human race. It did seem like he was lacking a bit of understanding as to how the Warcraft 3 races work. Hopefully, seeing YoungYakov in the previous game state, hopefully Homono now has a better understanding here when it comes to creeping. That was the big issue. Was that Homono, he was kind of in a way settling back at home, macroing and not creeping. Because of that, his army did not scale well into a longer game. He was lacking levels on his heroes, and he was just overwhelmed. He was just overwhelmed by mass roach. Meanwhile, with the Brutal Zerg on the table, we have seen time and time again YoungYakov go into 2-base lurker play. So we expect lurker tech out of YoungYakov. We'll see if he does embrace that once again. Meanwhile, from the side of Homono, we do need him to be more active with his army. We'll see if he will be. See if he does become more active. For now, just building up, working towards his Archmage once again. Likewise, back at home. Hatch gas full into a macro hatchery, into most likely sunken colonies. Ooh, as Homeowner, he does attempt to rush across the map. Speaking of, the spawning pool is about to finish up, and where's that colony? There it is. Colony is on the way. Now, for those that are curious, it is very common for a Warcraft 3 player to move out with their first couple of units to harass the mineral lines. That is why the side defense early on is very important here from the Zerg side of things, whether it's SE2 Zerg or Brood War Zerg. And there we go. The foreman does get that. A little bit of a pathing issue here. Hopefully he does notice in time. Yeah, the colony is done, and the footman is going to go down. It's a nice setup here. Nice pickoff. We have a second colony on the way. YoungYakov, he's droning. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see that Homono, he is moving out. Does move out. Oh, did go for Blizzard first. Interesting. As we mentioned before, it's a little bit more common. Oh, God. It's a little bit more common to open up with the Water Elemental, as the Elemental does tank shots. It's a way to preserve the HP on your army. This is where I'm a little bit concerned for Homono, because despite opening up quadruple footmen, the footmen are very low on HP. And healing and regenerating HP is also a bit of a resource here in Warcraft 3. As Homono moves out, Lings are moving in. Lings, they bypass the main army. Back at home, Homono, he can militia his units. But the army is still so low on HP. Yeah, Lings, they do get across the map. Workers are going to be targeted down. Homono still creeping, still fighting, engaging in the center. Oh, and he's leading out units here. It's going to be 1 or 2. There's a militia, getting up to 3 peasants. Up, can he get the third? He can. 3 workers go down. Homono is still committing, but again, his army is very low on HP. Has to pull away. His rally goes past all these creep. You have to be very careful with your rallies, as he almost loses another footman. Watch your rallies, Pappy. Watch your rallies. Again, there's a bit of a learning curve to playing Warcraft 3 Evolution. Overlord does scout, does confirm. Lings, they just bypass the main army. They just head across the map anyway. Back at home, we have 4 sunken colonies and a full wall. And Yakov, he's ready for the counterattack. Nice positioning with the footman. Pulls away. There's the militia. And we can see that Yakov just has to wait this out. Just wait this out. The longer this is militiaed, I mean, that's less resources here for Honmono. He runs into a wall of spine crawlers, or sunken colonies. And Yakov, he is ready back at home. He is ready, he is secure. Honmono still trying to be active. Lings, they get us around. Gets around as well. Oh, going for the other. Pulling away. Oh no! Honmono, he runs into the creep. He runs into the Ogre King. Not like this. Archmage just got killed. Yeah, he has to replace it. Just went down. Not even to YoungYakov. Ay, ay, ay. So I keep saying Ogre King. The Ogre Lord, I should. With respect on the name. Altar is going to fall as well, which means there's no hero. Hero. And YoungYakov is just pulling Honmono apart. I love this game so much. GG gets called. Again, miss rally time and time again. You got to respect the map, respect the terrain. And GG, YoungYakov will take a 2-1 lead. Whew. GG. GG, well played. He will take a lead. And now we're jumping into game number 4. Now, Honmono, he can still rely on his Brood or Terran. Like, Brood or Terran is still something that he can rely upon. Still something that he can whip out. Let's go. As spawning in... Oh, again! Oh, God. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the human player here. Once again, the South Korean player. It's a human. It always sounds weird saying that. It is Honmono. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have, oh, the red human player. Let's go. True, he hasn't won a game with human with Warcraft 3 as he did lose with his undead earlier. We have YoungYakov. Let's go. Catching in the chat. Hello, Super Kaito. Papi, what is this? I just tuned in. Welcome one and all to the KungFu Cup number 6 Warcraft 3 Evolution Edition. If you haven't tuned in before, this is a weekly tournament. It is a weekly event that does feature the Warcraft 3 mod. Now, I say this is weekly. Every week they alternate between StarCraft Evolution and Warcraft 3 Evolution. So we have been covering the last, I guess, 2 months of this. I guess almost 2 months. Almost 2 months of this. So far, it has been a lot of fun, and yeah, Honmono, he has been able to stumble his way into the finals here, but again, he is still inexperienced when it comes to Warcraft 3. Meanwhile, YoungYakov, he has all the experience. YoungYakov, he is good to go. He's favored as he's able to embrace his own Warcraft 3 race, this time not undead, this time human instead. Let's go. Meanwhile, we do have our opener. It is going to be the Mountain King opener here out of YoungYakov. Rushing into the early Arcane Vault. Interesting. The Arcane Vault is basically a shop. It's like a shop that you do have access to, so you can buy items early on and replenish your inventory. Likewise, Honmono is setting up back at him as well. Going for a 2-rack setup. Does open up with the additional waxes. And we'll see what hero he does open with this time. As so far, every game we have seen Honmono open up Archmage. Have seen Archmage openers. And likewise, Honmono doing the same, going for his own Mountain King as well, much later, as it was a later altar and a faster second Rax. We can see a militia here with the initial units, ideally to tank some shots. And YoungYakov does break out. It breaks the aggro. As we mentioned before, like especially early on, whenever you're creeping like this, like HP on your footman is a resource. Like you want to be as efficient as possible and preserve that HP as best you can. Likewise, moving out. Does end up getting boots of speed. Okay. Does get the speed. Does open up with a Stormbolt as well. Although it's a curious, Stormbolt is a stun, So YoungYakov does open with a stun on his hero. Meanwhile, Homono across the map has still yet to make his own. So you can see here, because of the build, because of the 3-racks opener of Homono, it did delay his ultra, it did delay his initial king, it does delay his hero unit, and likewise it delays his creeping as well, as you don't want to creep without gaining levels. And Homono pulling back. Okay, there we go. So hero has arrived. Once again, he also does open Stormbolt. We can see Homono going into 3-racks, Rifleman, going into the range-based units instead. Interesting. So building up a decently robust army early on. And what else do we have? Increase accuracy. Oh, does scan. Okay, does scan across the map. He does get eyes on the setup. He does see the blacksmith. He knows that we have riflemen on the way. But I was just checking, so he did buy the crystal ball, so he does have scans. So Yakov is aware. Just now getting a second racks. Homono also be creeping. His own setup. Wait, I'm waiting for the scan. You can see he was just buying items. Yakov's still being active. Did scan for a second time. He scanned. He did see the natural expansion. He knows. Feels nulls, man. And we're settling in. We're settling into our games. I will still want to see. This is the same mistake that we saw previously. I mean, at least this time, I mean, he's still in level 2. We do need to see some more creeping here out of Homono. Like clearing up the nulls here on the right. Or the Quillbore, Razor Mains. Yakov is being active. Active is moving out. I mean, he has a plethora of footmen pushing up the ramp. He does have his thunderclap. Homono does not. Does clap. Does get on top of the army. Yeah, riflemen are going to be going down. Gets one. Gets two. Likewise, still has a stun available as well. Ooh, stuns the hero. Gets us around. No. Yeah, Homono does get surrounded. There's no way out of this. He's trapped. That does militia his boys. Force a recall. Yeah, recalls out of the surround. Oh my god, recalls everything, Jesus. Oof. And so far, Homono, he does make a stand. Of course, YoungYakov, he can always recall away. There it is, does recall out. Whew. Does recall out, but at what cost? Did lose all of his footmen in the process. Does save his hero, and again, he was doing some damage here, but he's down a base. He's down a base, he's down an economy here. This was very committed by YoungYakov, and he failed to break Homono. And Homono, looking good here. Looking good, looking solid. If he had lost his hero, I'd say otherwise, but no, he does preserve his army. He does preserve that natural base. And now he's building up his own footman and rifleman army. And I believe getting into Kael'thas. Oh, no. That is going to be YoungYakov. Getting into Kael'thas instead. There's Revelation. Does get eyes on the main army composition. YoungYakov still pushing though. I believe he should have... Oh, no, never mind. Got into Siphon Mana instead. Okay. Didn't get Flame Strike. There's a first stun. Meanwhile, he claps. Going for the hero. Doesn't quite get it. And pushing forward once again, going for another clap. And we'll pull away. Trades with the army, trades some HP, doesn't get any major kills. You can see basically he's just using I keep saying Kael'thas, but he keeps using his second hero just to just as a battery. Just giving mana to his main hero. Getting his own natural up and running. Pulls away. And we have a back and forth. We have a game. We have a game here. It looks like instead of going for the Blood Elf, we do see another Archmage on the way here for Homono. That's going to be his second hero. Building up. Interesting decision here from YoungYakov. It looks like he's going to be committing to a melee-based composition, building up more footmen and going to be investing into the defend upgrade. So it'll take, what is it, like 30% less shots or 30% reduced damage from range units. So it does research defend. Likewise, Homeowner also breaking out. We be creeping. Okay, this is enough to level the Blood Elf. To level Kael'thas. Homeowner breaking out. He did get... Oh, just mana regen? Okay. To get mana regen on his Sage. Again, he has just got Mass Man with Gun, Mass Rifleman. That is where the defend upgrade is going to come into play for YoungYakov. There we go, he breaks out. Oh. Gets a first Thunderclap. Oh, the Mazigan taking a lot of hits, takes a lot of damage. Takes a lot of hits. Doesn't get the hit that he was looking for. Not quite. From here, pulls away. Major goes down. Oof. Nice stun though, not bad. Does get that decent stun off. Has a guy back. Riflemen, they will overwhelm. They shut down most of the footmen. Not much HP left. Yeah, there's just so many riflemen here. And we are running out of mana. That was the final clap. Does go up. King pushing in. Oh, gets another though. Gets one last. One more. The army's low. Oh my god. And in the end, Homeowner, he's forced back. Oh, takes mana away. Let's go. Does siphon mana on Homeowner's hero. Oh, does get the stun off. And YoungYakov, it's so close. Gets the hero. Takes him down. Gets away as well. The final stun. And YoungYakov takes the fight. He takes the fight to the footmen. They do break through. Again, forcing back the rifleman. No, he runs into the creep. Get out of here. Homono, get away. A very close, very clutch fight. YoungYakov does come out ahead. Remember, he did save his own Mountain King. Now healing back up. Oh god. I mean, this is also why it's important to clear up the creep early on as well, as they can become an issue. Be careful with your pathing. As Homeowner is still just going Massive Rifleman. Reviving his own Mountain King. I'm hearing horses everywhere. Jesus, it's just the one. It's just the one horse. Oh no, there we go. I was like, why do I keep hearing it wherever I go? We got some knights. A couple of knights have arrived. God, they're so loud. And you can see here, kind of like in the downtime of this game, YoungYakov, what does he do? He creeps, right? He hunts down more centaur, hunts down more units, getting more levels. Meanwhile, meanwhile, Homono, he's stuck at home, right? He's stuck at home, rebuilding, remaxing. He's being more passive with his army. Instead of hunting down, like, these units here, for example. There we go. Does now move over. I mean, you can argue, part of that was because, his hero was dead, true. Had to rebuild. Yeah, Yakov does take that lead. Oh, we got a Tome of Strength. Let's go. 3 does rotate towards the right-hand side. Investing in his upgrades. Steals an item. Let's go. Takes a health stone. Not bad. Actually be useful. Oh, coming in from behind. Collapsing on these riflemen. Once again, a nice stun. Yeah, riflemen, they're getting caught out. Flame strike as well. Yeah, the boys have to pull away. And Homeowner, he's getting caught out here. Once again, just diving on those riflemen. Oh, turning around. There we go. Does commit in. Gets off another thunderclap. The riflemen, they're all going to be going down. Very low HP. And YoungYakov, he overwhelms. He does overwhelm. Again, he did caught out. He did just catch out the rifleman. Likewise, oof, brutal stun. Gets surrounded. Yeah, body looking here on the final king. On the final hero, it does go down. And what's left? What is left here for Honmono? Down to a couple of riflemen. Down to the militia, of course. They're trying to hold their own. As I mean, they're trading somewhat well here. But the economy is going to be in shambles. And without any heroes, Homeowner, he has nothing left. And with all 3 races, with Brood War, with SC2, and now with Warcraft 3 as well, yeah, he will take it. What's even? He doesn't. Yeah. I mean, again, you want to set a low worker count. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he will claim it. He will take the series 3-1. GG. GG, well played. As you mentioned before, Honmono, he's a little more unfamiliar with the Warcraft 3 races and with the Warcraft 3 mod. But yes, like quote-unquote minerals, it's actually a little bit reversed, I guess, as opposed to SE2. But a Honmono, he was banking up a lot of quote-unquote minerals or lumber. Lumber isn't as useful. It's useful for upgrades, for example, for upgrades for tech, but you can get away with a lower worker count and lower lumber mining, right? You don't actually need that many workers. And based on the militia towards the end, Homeowner, he did invest quite heavily into making workers, into making peasants, just to mine quote unquote lumber. And clearly at the end, like, he was like, what do I even have this for? It's like, crap, you don't need that many. So GG, well played. There's a bit of a learning curve, of course, but a shout out to Homeowner for making it to the finals, for making it that far regardless, and for making the finals what it was. So congratulations to YoungYakov, as he will be this week's champion for KungFu Cup. GG, well played. Again, YoungYakov, he does look very well versed when it comes to Warcraft 3. So far, there are a couple of players that we have noticed that have really embraced it quite well. Players like Kurian, Liu Li, YoungYakov, MacSed, MaxPax as well. MaxPax is also really good at Warcraft 3. So MaxPax as well. He got knocked out earlier in the tournament. So yeah, it's been really cool to see which of these players has been kind of like transferring over and embracing this mod a little bit more than others. Has been cool to see. Regardless, GG, well played. With that, congratulations to YoungYakov for claiming the series and for claiming the win. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. We are going to be wrapping up our broadcast here for the morning. Not bad, almost a 4-hour cast, but we're going to be live later on this evening with some more StarCraft action. Here we go, exclamation mark. Or I should say, let's switch our scenes over and catch up on our schedule. And there it is. We do have our schedule set up here. We just wrapped up with our Saturday cast in the morning with the KungFu Cup Warcraft 3 Evolution. Later on this evening, I say this evening, this afternoon at 5 p.m. KST, that's going to be 6 p.m. AEST. That is in 4.5 hours. Oh, I don't have much time. But in 4.5 hours, we're going to be back. We're going to be live with the Chicken King Cup, number 7, day 2. Going to be live with day 2. You can see we were live last night. This is an 8-player invitational in StarCraft 2, and we have our top 4. We have 4 players remaining. We have Dark, we have Gumiho, we have Zaun, and we have Lemon as well. That's it. So we have Lemon, Zaun, Dark, and Gumiho, 4 top players remaining here in the tournament. And tonight is going to be the best of 5 semis and the best of 7 grand finals. So we have 3 matches. We have 3 matches ready for you here tonight. That's going to be in 4.5 hours. So I have a little bit of time to get some food, get some snacks, rest up, edit some VODs, and get ready for some more casting, some more StarCraft. Meanwhile, after that tournament, hopefully I'll have some time to nap. I do want to nap because, as you can see on our schedule, Sunday morning at 1 a.m. KST, that's going to be 2 a.m. here in Australia. We're going to be live with the HSL playoffs, with the Hispanic StarCraft League playoffs here live on the channel. It's going to be amazing, going to be beautiful. Do look forward to it as we have some more StarCraft on the horizon. Again, a very intense and very busy weekend. I still have to get my scenes ready for that as well, so that's what I'm going to be doing during the downtime. In these 4 hours, I have to get everything ready here for the HSL, because it is more of like a professional setting, a professional setup. So I'll do my best to get that going. Do my best, do my best. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time, as we are going to be wrapping up. We're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. And again, we'll be back in a couple of hours with some more StarCraft. HSL gonna be hype. It's gonna be hype. Otherwise, yeah, hope you all had a great time here, and we'll see you guys later on this evening. Have a great day. But oh, thank you, Sinistra. Thank you. Gonna be sleeping when you're back. It's all good. Get some rest. Come back for HSL. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be amazing. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. If you want to watch or follow more of the CranKy Ducklings, then exclamation mark socials in the chat. Socials. We'll give you a link to all the social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. We are live on a daily basis here on the channel, as you can see, multiple times a day, and we also upload VODs on YouTube on a regular basis as well. Just caught up in the chat. But yeah, we do upload on a daily basis over on YouTube, so YouTube is the place to be for that daily content. If you can't watch it live, then YouTube will help you catch up on those VODs. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support, and we'll see you guys either in 4.5 hours or tomorrow for some Hispanic Star League. See you then, papi, see you then. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Until next time.
Morning.